Uh-oh, my brother was unwell today. Everyone's dying. But when it's someone close, it's like people say, this guy's worthless without really knowing them. Yeah, I agree with that, Callie. Okay, well, apparently we don't have any sound.
Competition.
I don't know why. Usually there's music. This makes me concerned for, like, the audio quality of all of the next ASLs. If we don't have any fucking studio sound. I thought this would just be a... Oh, man. Oh, it's because they lowered the volume so much. So that's... Because I can hear her voice in the background. So that's them purposefully lowering the volume so it's not interfering with him talking. That makes sense. And that's not good, Callie. Your brother's unwell? Like, how unwell? I'll pray for him, bro. I hope he gets better. That's not good.
Hello. First up, we have defending champion Solky, who managed to achieve...
Well, it was like kind of the same thing, Callie, of like for instance, when Amanda came in here and I started talking about Asmon, and she was like, oh god, Asmon, no, not that guy. It's like, oh. So, I guess I'll ask this question, Callie. He needs more exercise, bad heart. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. Genetic defects like that suck. From all the clips I've shown of Asmon, as someone who doesn't watch Asmon, I'm guessing, like, you know, I literally watch, like, all of his content everywhere for everything, because, I don't know, I think he's awesome. But anyways, because he doesn't censor himself, which is what I like. And I think a lot of other people like, too. So have you ever found him to be, like, I will say this, he is aggressive and abrasive because he's been doing it for so long and nothing has happened, and it's been, like, a decade, and he's like, I'm tired of playing nice, so I'm just gonna say it the way it is, because people already hate me, people already call for my death and stuff, so it's like, there's no point in being nice, because I tried being nice, and nothing changed. So I'm just gonna be an abrasive fucking asshole that tells the fucking truth, and you can either listen to me or not, but it's gonna fucking happen. And I totally get that. Of being like, oh, I don't like him because of how he presents himself. That's completely understandable. But for people to be like, oh, he's homophobic, he's transphobic, all this stuff, when literally it's the only reason is because of kids. Don't fuck with kids. Don't touch the kids. Leave the kids alone. And everything will be fine. But apparently people just can't leave kids alone. I fucking don't understand it. World's a fucked up place.
Now preparing for his first match on a journey towards a 5-peat. How's your form today?
Sulky!
I would say my condition is pretty good. I haven't been able to prepare much. So instead, I paid extra attention to my form, my condition.
Barracks.
Starting with Season 16 and all the way up to last season, you always made it out of the round of 16 in first place. It really begs the question whether you're on the verge of reaching perfection. Should we also see you advancing in first place this season as a done deal?
Oh, 100%. He's gonna have so many stars, guys. He's gonna be the first guy with 2 lines of stars. Because he doesn't have any room left. You have to put him above it. He's gonna have like 12 on there, and we're putting it like below the ASL. You know, they're just be like, we're just gonna give you a star for a jacket because you have so many stars.
Group A in a different pick position, however, during the group selection, you said that because Sulky
Effort looks so uncomfortable up there.
This does not feel right. How are you feeling right now?
Barracks looks so out of place in this group.
Don't really have much time to prepare, so I said
I think I saw his really nice side when he was being interviewed somewhere, and then I see that, yeah, he does have a different way of talking, but I don't hear bad stuff coming out of his mouth all the time, you know, like really bad stuff. Well, like, I'd say, like, okay, his three most controversial takes, which I don't think should be controversial, abortion. He believes that it's the right of the woman to have an abortion, even if it's literally her water just broke. She don't want the kid? Don't want the kid. That's her decision. Second, like, LGBT, don't fuck with trans kids. No non-reversible things for anyone who's under 18. Treat it the same way as, can this kid get a tattoo? No? Okay, well, they can't get medical intervention then. Simple. And then the third one is universal basic income. And he believes that it is inevitable it will eventually hit either three things. Universal basic income, turn everyone into food, or turn everyone into batteries. Most likely, turn everyone into batteries. But he is a huge advocate for universal basic income. And that's because he used to be extremely poor, right? And he was on food stamps. So his way of thinking about it is, oh, I used to be on food stamps, now I'm paying for someone else's food stamps. That's the cycle of life. That's how it should be, right? Someone facilitated me enough for me to make enough money to facilitate another person. And then that person that I'm feeding into can probably do the same thing, right? At least a chance for it. And those three things are probably the main things that people go after him for, are those three opinions, even though they get completely twisted around. But it's like, I feel pretty much the same way. I'm like, if you don't want the kid no matter what, I don't think you should have to have the kid. I'm for all three of those. See? And I think most people in general are for, like, all three of those, because that's just a societal expectation, right? Of, we know someone's going to get hurt at the end of the day, and we're making sure that the person that gets hurt is, like, on the lowest scale. And you could say that's bad. People aren't a scale. But it's like, if you're thinking about, should you save the mother or should you save the baby? It should always be save the mother, because the mother can have another baby. I don't care what anyone says. It should be save the mother. Suck, because someone's gonna die. Is better for the baby to die, because then the mother can make another baby, plus the next baby will have a mother, plus, you know, there'll be a family. So it's like, statistically, it sucks, but the correct choice is to save the mother, not the baby. And most people would say, that's disgusting, of course you save the baby, why would you, you're a baby killer! And it's like, okay, bro, okay, but man, sorry to say it, someone's gotta get hurt, but the best situation is that the baby dies. It sucks. It does. But that's what it is, right? And people will not say that shit. That's why I like about Asman. He'll just say it, because it's true. And it's like, people can say whatever they want, but I'm thinking about this on who does this help the most? Mother would be ready for the baby next time so she can take better care of it. Most people would say, Callie, like, if you were a woman, like, I kind of wish Queen was here to kind of get her input as a woman, because I think there's this extreme maternal connection that women have, that the mother would save the child over me. And I think 90% of the time, the mother would say, save the child over me. But I think that's more to do with a maternal connection to the baby and, like, a want of loss of the child over, like, anything else, right? But I would defer to a woman's opinion for that, because I'm not a woman. I have no idea, especially someone who has either been pregnant or has a kid.
Wasn't feeling it, but I did practice a lot this time. I have a feeling I might be...
But those are, like, for some reason, some of the most controversial takes in society now, because no one wants to hurt anyone. They'd rather kill both of them than save one of them. I feel that's literally what society would do. They'd say, well, we don't know who to save, so we're just gonna let them both die. I'm like...
Well, for starters, for starters,
So dumb.
latest off stream for a
So
long
dumb.
time,
Such an
for about 3
emotional
days.
response.
I just said, let's get as many games in as we can. My hands are working well. I'm looking to play the way I prepared and just do my best. Barrack says he prepared a lot. Let's now talk to effort, the Phoenix. You made it out of the round of 24 in first place, and you're now about to play in the round of 16 for the first time.
Yeah, but I can't believe he made it out of that group in first place. That's insane.
I was very unnerved.
So good.
Group in the round of 24, but I advanced in first, and I still feel good about that now.
I thought for sure Soma,
It was a
man.
tremendously impressive showing in that round of 24, as you said. Given you always show up in full force when it comes to tournament play, you could
Barracks' fingers look like AI. Look at Barracks' fingers, man. They look like fucking AI. Oh, Callie.
Wouldn't it be nice
Dude,
if both of us
dude,
could start
Barracks
playing
has
tournament
Gawain
group?
fingers. Look at his fucking fingers holding the
Alright
mic.
then. Let's have a word with Rush as well.
They're like little, super long, thin, skeletal fingers.
Group D and landed in Group A in the end. You did not seem
Guitar
particularly pleased
fingers.
at the time. How are you feeling today ahead of the games, though?
Go back,
Honest,
I
was
am so
originally in Group D,
sleep.
And the difficulty compared to Group A is pretty similar.
Look at those fingers. That's literally what I imagine like Gawain's fingers to look like. That they're long, they're skinny, they're bony. He play piano. Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
Today ahead of the games, though. To be honest, I was originally in Group D, and
But he is a really, and he's also really skinny. He's a small guy too, right?
I prepare well enough not to worry about this being played so early. This is an agreeable statement, as regardless of which group you get placed in, your performance suggests the round of 8 should, to some degree, be guaranteed. For 4 seasons in a row, starting with season 16 and up until season 19, you did not miss a single quarterfinals. What is your outlook for today's group? I've advanced to the round of 8 quite often, but I never made it through in first place. To be honest, I don't care who makes it through, but as far as I'm concerned, I just want to advance in first.
Yeah, everyone is so
All 4
strong in
players
this tournament.
seem to be displaying a high level of
Like, they're all, like,
today.
between 9.8 and
When it comes to
9.9, and then
selection
Sulky's,
ceremony,
like,
I dare say
11.
that this group was the turning
And
point.
then there's
Effort
Flash sitting
by
at, like,
picking
10.8. I can't wait for Flash to come back, and Flash and Sulky to clash. Because if it's not going to be a Zerg, it has to be Flash that unseats him. Flash hasn't played in 3 years because of his injuries.
A lot against Zerg. I'm confident.
But he has said that if his injuries get to a point where he can play, he will play in the ASL. He's just recovering right now. He is active, and he's beaten Sulky multiple times on the ladder. And I'm pretty sure there's a couple Artosis cast games of Sulky versus Flash.
Just leave him be, but Sulky would not, and he swapped him with Soma for Group A. Last season, Sulky beat Rush 4-1 in the quarterfinals, and again in season 18 with a 2-0 in the winners match of the round of 16. I have a feeling it's time for you to strike back. What do you think about this, Rush? Sulky beat me 3 times over those last 4 championship runs.
It's so
This time,
sad.
if we meet-
Sulky's just so strong. It's insane.
If we
Zerg's
meet,
broken,
we'll try and
guys.
beat
How
him,
do you
says
ever
Rush.
lose
Now,
as
in the
Zerg?
case of Barracks, surrounded by champions and runner-ups, it's a battle for survival. In season 18, you beat Hero, you beat Bisu. I'm sure you still
Effort
remember
is
what
so
it's like to
jittery,
advance
man.
in the round of 8. Is it time to topple the great?
He just wants to play the games.
It will be a challenge for sure, but I'll do my best. Can't wait to see what ends up unfolding today. Let's close things out with our 4 players' final remarks, starting with Sulky. I will advance.
Yeah, Sulky's coming out first.
I will
And then the question is, like I said, is it going to be effort or is it going to be...
Results,
I don't know, man. I really don't know.
I will
it could either be Rush or Barracks, but I think I'm leaning more towards Rush.
Round of 16. Thanks for the interview.
But I think that's mainly because of Sulky. Without Sulky, I think this would be a little bit different.
Gravity, it's time to find out.
But it's all going to come down to TVZ. Because, I mean, there's a chance Effort can beat Sulky in ZVZ. And has a chance of getting out first.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the round of 16 here in season 20 of the ASL.
Yes, welcome back. And
is Artosis growing the mustache back? Are we getting the pedo stash back? Please tell me we're getting the pedo stash back, Artosis.
So, unfortunately, this episode will have very low volume, as you can probably hear in the background, the Korean commentators. And we don't want to make your brain melt. So sorry about that. We already know that the next recording will not be like this. They've replaced the computer.
Okay.
It's just one of those.
That's what was going on. Yeah.
Basically, they have a second computer that records everything except the Korean casters, and that's where we get our recording from. And
so they don't have it.
Record over that so that our volumes roughly match, the appropriate amount of sound where the game volume is. Yeah, this happens sometimes. It happened live during the show, sadly. So it's going to be a quiet, but besides Artosis, it's going to be a pretty quiet game. So luckily, we're still able to get this recorded to you and get the casting out there.
Yeah. So sorry about that, but that is the way it is.
Yep, so, technical difficulties fucking happen. I'm surprised they haven't happened more. Like, for just them putting on this fucking show, they've done an amazing job of like production value and shit like that over the last 10 years. Or I guess I'd say the last 3 years, since like they're no longer a part of the studio since the ASL English got cancelled. Because they used to be in the studio casting it, but then they technically got fired because they didn't think there was a big enough audience in English to have them. Which is super unfortunate, but
it is best of one. So if he were to lose that, and then
that had a lot to do with the Starcraft 2 match fixing and what fucked up Starcraft 2 as a game, which is the one thing that could fuck up Starcraft 1 is match fixes.
But right now it's just hard.
Gambling on the games.
Not even winning this ASL. I mean, he's been in such incredible shape. He's looked untouchable. He does seem to have passed through whatever shakiness he had before. He's always looked extremely strong in every season of ASL. We've been calling this guy to be a champion for years and years, but now we've had 2 years in a row. Possibly this is going to be his 5th champion in a row.
Third year of winning, because we do 2 ASLs every year.
Better. So, I mean, upsets happen. Artosis, if that were to happen, it would be the craziest.
If Sulky gets knocked out by, like, Barracks and,
in general.
Barracks and Effort.
Some work in, but I expect him to be getting out.
Oh my god, that would be so insane. Effort goes on to win.
Looking over the groups as well. I saw that you had made a video, although I haven't been able to check that out. What's your prediction for, like, who do you think is actually going to win? Like, who's your top, like, 2 to 3 picks for this tournament?
Soma,
Sulky,
Rush, and Sulky
should be winning ASLs more than one pretty soon here. Yeah. He's done so well for so
long. But I don't know
so
between Soma and Best.
Get over that. Granted, this group is very tough. Both Snow and Minnie, I'm always watching as well, but that's where I basically ended up. And,
Snow would be amazing if Snow won an ASL.
Or some of these other guys, Royal as well, where they're not exactly the guys that you're thinking about right away for an ASL.
Like even Barracks isn't someone I wouldn't necessarily think of.
Field overall has been pretty even,
or Effort.
Tough to call.
But Rush has been up there forever.
With the exception of Sulky, basically winning everything for the last 2 years.
Yeah, definitely agreed on that. I actually, my prediction before we get this started, for anyone who hasn't seen so far, I'm predicting that this ASL is won by either Snow or Soma. That is my prediction. I actually think Sulky's not going to win his 5th. I know it's like kind of a crazy pick, but
Yeah, I think if anyone can outdo him, it's definitely going to be a ZVZ, and it would either be Effort or Soma. And Snow, man, if Snow just could up his game to the level of his, like, equalize his game to the level of his Reaver play,
Maybe I even undersold.
he would definitely win ASL.
yeah.
Hands down, because Protoss is broken.
You know,
He just needs to work on his on making everything else on par with his Reaver play.
who would ever come close to that spot. And here we are.
Because his Reaver play is just so broken.
There's no Flash in this tournament, and it doesn't seem like he's going to be around for the next one.
Mm-hmm. The Flash probably won't play for another 2 or 3 years.
The future holds fully, but right now, I mean, Sulky looks so strong.
But when he does come back, it's going to be... Because he doesn't want to come back and then just lose in the round of 4, or 24. And he doesn't want to come back and, like, not qualify. You know? He's got to know where he stands. And he's the smartest player when it comes to it. So he's going to pick his timing very, very well. And he's not going to play random again. That was just his, you know, fun run. Getting to the round of 4 is random, though, is fucking crazy. And not even on the back of Terran. On the back of Zerg.
Percentages are insane. But I would actually say, like, and I think that a lot of Sulky's victories are based off this, because, like, his ZVP is technically a higher win rate, but I think right now, his Zerg versus Terran is literally unbeatable. Nobody knows how to take multiple games off of him. So, in my opinion,
yeah, you can take one odd game, but, like, winning in a best of 3? Ooh.
Win a series against him in this tournament.
Ooh.
I mean, we saw what he did against Light. It was...
Yeah, that was sad.
Like, the fact that Light can't put a dent into Sulky. Light...
So I'm just gonna go crazy, Zerg. Fuck it! Oh, wait, my mutas killed him. Shit. Oh, well, I guess that didn't work.
I have this little prayer in the back of my head that Barracks will have some sort of insane build order and throw the upset to Sulky to actually add that kind of interesting factor into this ASL, because I think after this best of 1, Sulky will not lose to Terran.
You know, it is scary how ZVT looks when Sulky's playing. Like, he just seems to have no issues, never slowed down, never affected. And it doesn't seem to have any obvious weakness. And a lot of times I leave the games I cast from Sulky with more questions than answers. I don't know how to take this guy on. He seems to understand every aspect of the matchup so well. Guys, we're going to go to the map knockout. This is Sulky versus Barracks.
I'm hoping there's game volume to some extent, but hey, it is what it is.
Okay, we've got Sulky here at the top.
Okay,
left.
so then what I'm gonna
We've
do...
got Barracks here in the bottom left. We said this at the opening of the show, but we're going to say it here again, even if it's a little redundant, because we know a lot of you guys skip ahead right to the games just to get in the action. This recording is going to sound different. We're going to be very audible, and the game sounds are going to be very, very soft. And the reason why is that the PC that records this at the Soup Studios, they record what you call a clean feed. That's everything without the Korean broadcasters' voices in it. That PC crashed, and it has now been replaced. That PC has been thrown into Mordor.
Let me know if the music is too loud or too quiet. Barracks!
Audio file. That's what we would call the dirty feed. That's all of the audio, including the Korean broadcasters. And so we're recording off of that, but we've turned it down because if we were to keep the game volume,
You'd hear the caster.
3 Korean men talking to each other while we're speaking English to each other.
Yeah, and that's no good. So sorry about that.
It's mainly the music that I really care about, right? So, but I can just put the music on in the background and we're good to fucking go. But yeah, so let me know if it's too loud and like overshoots their voices, because I think my sound is different than your guys' sound. Because my levels are all fucked up.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Every once in a while it happens, but anyways, at least we still get to cover this game. And you know, in this,
how dare you guys fuck up the audio?
Scouting, Barracks right away, first scout down here, coming from the top into the bottom, And we were mentioning this earlier, but I just wanted to reiterate too. Like, Sulky just doesn't seem to have any kind of weakness in the matchup. It doesn't seem. He just has like this instinct.
And
about
this
how to handle
this
the player.
whole map
He
system
never
is
exceeds.
made to be
He
against
always wins
Zerg,
fights in the middle of the map.
too.
And his tech has been.
And that little
raised
dip
by
in
itself.
front of
He's
the
unpredictable.
the base is a low ground. If you're on low ground, you have 50% chance to miss on high ground. So if your army's in that crevice, a lot of your army will be hitting missing shots, which will make it gives a higher defense defender's advantage.
It's like you do it if you think you might be getting center racks, and he just like that's the way that he went about it. We can see he hasn't opened up here against barracks like that, which I actually think makes sense. Like in a bigger best of 5, a best of 7, you really are going to expect at least one center barracks play, right? So I think that it makes sense that he kind of hard counters that there, but in this best of 1, he's going to get a decent opening, and that's what we see him kind of
Throwing out with the drones, just going to see, make sure you don't get in and see what's going on.
So we have Barrick sending his Marine out, but not going to go all the way. Ideally, you want to force out a few lings or make.
Yeah, you just want to walk out into the map, force lings, force a sunken, and then walk back.
And over here in Sulky's base, it's going to be 2 hatch layers.
It's just the mind games going back and forth.
Very much so mainline openings on either side. Barracks is going to be staying back. I think for now he'll be pretty comfortable. You know, with the wall in there, it's not like he can get bombarded with lings and overwhelmed or anything like that. But he will have to be ready for the Muta harass. Note that the minerals there for Barracks and the gas do point kind of northward towards where the Mutalisks could fly in. So a lot of times these positions on the map are big parts of big locations of vulnerability.
One thing I want to mention here is Barracks did do the wall in, and he's actually following that up with a 2 Barracks Academy rush. And that is, it's kind of an interesting choice because almost always Pro Terrans in this position will go for a very fast engineering bay to get +1 attack and be able to hit a stronger mid game. But Sulky has shown such resilience against that. He crushes that, like you were talking about. In the center of the map, he'll just have the lings and mutas, and he'll crush that army, and you won't get anything done. This build that Barracks has done is the ultimate in flexibility. He's going to have his scans exactly when he wants them. He's going to have stim and range very quickly. He's going to be able to put on a little bit of pressure early on and maybe force some sunken colonies. If there's a 3rd hatch on the map, there's potential to kill it. And it also allows you to oftentimes get your starports out more quickly. So I like the choice that he's made here, and Sulky might be a little bit surprised by it as well.
Yeah, the Spire is about halfway done. Usually in this build, and correct me if I'm wrong, Artosis, you'll get 1 Firebat, plug up the back, and then send everything across, right?
That's exactly correct. You put that Firebat in the wall, and the Zerglings basically can't break through it because the counterattack is what made this go away. So this is like the new meta for how you open with something like this. Now you can see Sulky comes in with his lings, but this is not a good trade for him at all, and he's going to have to throw down at least 1 sunken, probably 2.
He's already... Oh, nope. He canceled one of them.
Well, he actually cancels 1.
Yeah, because he did throw down 2.
1 sunk there. You know, one thing about
But he's
Sulky
like,
is
by the time he gets
understand
over here, I'm going to have mutas.
perfectly for everything. Like, he knew he could get just enough Marines there where Terran probably can't attack at all anymore. And that's all he has to do.
Yeah, he killed 2 Marines
map, Sulky seems to
and wasted a bunch of
perfectly
medic
that it
energy.
Looks like the Terran should never have moved on the map.
One thing I want to mention here also, like, this wasn't unsuccessful from Barracks. Like, a lot of lings were made, he killed a bunch of them, and he did force 1 sunken. It's not, you know, you like to force 2, but he forced 1, so it's not...
He did make 2 and cancel 1, so you know that
like
he did lose the minerals there.
Time. Sulky flying down with his mutas, he doesn't have that important 7 mutas yet. And part of that is forcing the sunkens, forcing lings, things like that. So, you know, he's got to do 2 swipe-ins to kill an SCV, which is not.
And instead of taking
really
the main, he's taking the natural of the other one, so that secures the main for him. So it's technically he has a free 4th base if he can keep the 3rd.
Oh.
And
he can keep the same defensive position.
I didn't recognize this, but look at the speed of that starport. That is an absurdly fast starport. So this is actually a teched out build from Barracks. It was like,
is he gonna go dropship or is he gonna go quick science facility?
But he's rushed up to starport so quickly My guess is this will be a Valkyrie timing push.
Oh, maybe.
But can't say 100% yet. But it does look right now like a Valkyrie timing push. We have no second gas. That starport's super fast. And we'll see how good his
I guess, yeah, if he doesn't have the second gas, then he's not going for Science
Soulkey to
Facility.
deal with.
So then you just go straight into a Radiate and try and push. Try and
looks
keep
like one drone's gonna come down here with the rally.
keep Soulkey on the back foot before he can get Defilers.
It's been a growing trend to try to expand here. A little bit harder for the Terran to find. Does allow you to get that upper right main and that oh so important fourth base that you do need to defend here. For now, Soulkey is just keeping his distance. He's monitoring the Marines that are out here. We should mention Mutas actually their sight range isn't that great.
No, Mutas do not have a lot of sight.
So you do have to fly pretty close to confirm where the Marines are. Exactly.
That's why having Overlord for
And
sighting
all he
is really
wants to
nice
do is force
sometimes.
stims out and keep the Terran not too far out on the map. So
But at
we've
least
got
they have higher
Valkyrie
range
being
than
made
Scourge.
right now.
Scourge have no eyes.
And that's probably, as long as he can keep that on top of the infantry, he should be able to start to move out on the map here with this. But we have seen so many fails with Valkyrie control.
We really
Yeah, it's such a hard unit to control.
Very good mutalist control so far. You can see he's really picking off a lot of units. He's only lost like one muta to this, maybe a second now.
I think.
And also strategically here, it looks
Queen's
to me
Nest.
like he's going crazy, Zerg.
Yeah,
I'm
I was gonna
pretty
say,
sure he's
going crazy, Zerg.
which of course is
He doesn't
something that
have
is-
enough
since
gases
I
to
invented,
sustain
but it is
Defilers.
not. This is where you rush carapace upgrades and go directly to ultras.
That's why
So
he
it's like
had the
skipping
evolution
from
chamber
Mutalists
so
over
early.
Lurker and Defiler into ultras, which of course Soulkey has shown us before. I don't
There
think he's
should
ever
be
lost
a
the
better
ASL.
Newman
Yeah, it's
to
really
type
strong. If I
pattern
played Zerg,
menu
this would definitely be a way I
at
would approach this.
to
So,
type
it's not a lurker intensive
pattern to
tech. In fact, a lot of times you don't see any
every
lurkers at all here.
night my typing
the
gets
problem
worse.
with that is with the Valkyries out, those mutas took a lot of damage. And you know,
Yeah,
normally,
it is what it
if you're
is. You
playing
can
a
face
standard
palm the
CVT,
keyboard
you always
sometimes,
have, you know,
Callie.
2 to
There's
3
no
lurkers
wrong
each
with
base to
that.
defend that. But
It is what
without
it
that
is.
There, you know, the mutas don't have any sustain. If the Valkyries are on top, like they're going to be over here. Remember that this is a down ramp going on into an up ramp. So some of the Marines will be firing
shit.
from low ground onto high ground unless they can push up a little bit
Yeah,
further.
he has to push up.
This is one of the best executions I've ever seen of a Valkyrie rush.
Oh
Unbelievable.
my
Barracks
God.
is going to win this game.
Yeah, Barracks.
This
I
is
cannot
Holy
believe
shit.
this.
He
Oh my
executed
God.
this So I have chills. I would not be surprised if Flash gave him this build.
This
like,
is so perfectly done. And
Perfectly
you know,
done.
it cuts right through
GG.
the tech. GG, what is going on?
yeah. So
Holy
There is
shit,
not an
Barracks is
Barracks
fucking...
hid what this was.
Soulkey was like,
He
damn,
kept
man.
his Marines in the right spot. Soulkey was out there. He was harassing that, and he had no idea it was a Valkyrie rush until 2 popped out. And they popped out during a droning phase. He came out, got the double volley.
So if you look at both of those people, Callie, which one of them won? The first guy or the second guy?
Forward position. You can barely get the Sunkens up if you start them as the Marines are leaving the wall, but they were in front of that. So he just made a beeline and got there before the Sunkens, and the Valkyries were too much. That was insane.
That guy won, by the way. So I mean, like, when you look at the pros' faces, it's like impossible to tell who won, because it looks like, if you look at it, it looks like Barracks lost the way that he's acting. But then it's like, you look at Soulkey and he's just like nothing. He's just a poker face. Can't tell, man. Gamers are always like, I am Stonehenge. Yeah, I know,
They
right?
didn't really see anything. That's not enough. I mean, you see 3 barracks. Of course, there's going to be 3 barracks there. But the tech for the Valkyrie
Is like hidden way back there, see? He doesn't even see it.
Never seen. And it's interesting. I guess 2 is the number. 2 is enough missiles that the mutas can't really,
yeah, the mutas can't do
dive on
shit.
It was,
And,
yeah, it was really important that he got a big volley on them, because then it's like, oh god. And notice how he has no Scourge. Like, he just has no idea it's Valkyrie. So watch this as he comes up with the 2. This is like the really key moment, that he's hidden these the entire time. He didn't bring them out immediately. And watch this. He comes up. There's the volley. And suddenly it's like, oh, the mutas have to run. And look at where he was. He was just over the bridges. So that makes it so you can't get these Sunkens up in time.
Yeah, if he had the Sunkens, he would have been fine, but the Sunkens were not fast enough.
Because this was like the perfect execution of how to kill Soulkey. Caught completely off guard here.
and then the
Yeah.
Valkyries just
I mean,
instantly
ripped
kill
his
all the
heart out
mutas.
right before he even got to
He
that
doesn't have any
attack. You can see
Scourge.
one of the Valkyries actually overextends and hits the Scourge. But, I mean, just these few extra missile shots, it melts everything.
It's insane.
And that's all it takes.
So someone gave me a plot for Student Body Sonata, and I freaking love it. Okay, what is it? What is it, Callie? Tell me. I'm excited. Tell me.
It was perfect. Great job from Barracks. I do think that'll be the last loss we see from Sulky against Terran in a series in the tournament because it's a best of one. Wow. Crazy upset to start the day here. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, Effort versus Rush.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for waiting. What a crazy upset. I was so confident that Sulky would just destroy Barracks, but I wonder if he got that build from Flash. You know, that looked so perfect.
A lot of his builds in the past he has gotten from Flash that have surprised us. He definitely could have. Like, that is, like, it was just so perfectly planned. It's not to say that Barracks can't plan something, but that's not his strength at all. Like, his strength is, like, he's a fast mechanical player. You know, so I do wonder about that. I do wonder about that. We might hear about that later on, and we'll update you guys if we
Yeah, if he makes it through in either first or second, I'd love to hear his thoughts on that, of who gave him that build, or if he came up with it himself. Because if he came up with it himself, that means he's evolving as a player to a point where he might actually now, like, be an ASL champion level player.
I think that this guy is like,
and that's like, he's such an upcoming prodigy, it's fucking scary to even consider that.
You know, I feel
that he could win an ASL before someone like Rush.
Oh, Effort's back. Oh, he might win. You know, that type of thing.
Or Soma.
Well, he's one of these guys that when he is in any decent shape at all, he's really good, and it doesn't take him a long time to get into good shape.
Queen?
So, you know,
the Queen has just not been in good form.
Very scary at times.
So unfortunate.
But let's see how
he's
he
my
does against
favorite
Rush.
player. He's just not performing. But you know, Sulky.
We did already have an upset. I mean, dude, if Effort.
Sulky's
if
not.
Effort beat Rush
you
here,
know,
and then we had like Rush.
It's not a slump when it comes to.
That would be insane. By the way, Rush looking at this right now, licking his lips.
Yeah.
He's thinking, okay, I just got to have a standard day of results that I normally get, and I will not even have to touch Sulky in this group.
Yeah, that's a real possibility. And, you know, now that Sulky is in that loser match, by the way, like, well, we'll talk more about that in a minute. We're starting this. Let's get into it on Knockout.
Knock you out. Boom, boom. With ads. With ads. So weird without the
okay, Effort here in the
game audio.
Rush in the top. This time both players going to be on the right side of the map.
All right. Yeah, so it's very similar spawns to what we had in that previous match. Very, very close and everything. Close by air as well.
The mirror.
Yeah, we'll see what they end up opening up with. You know, Effort in general, like if you want to compare him to someone like Sulky, he's a more aggressive player. He's very kind of micro-focused, very aggressive, very decisive. Kind of peak Zerg from that end Kespa era that we were seeing, right? Like a kind of like he was a similar kind of style to Jadon. So definitely fun to watch him in this matchup because of that. But can run into some of the same problems that we were seeing with Jadong last season that actually Jadong has fixed a lot of. But
these women are so pretty. I know, right? I'm pretty sure they're paid, Callie. I would not be surprised if they're paid to sit in the front row to make it look like chicks like Starcraft.
Putting pressure on that type of thing.
Yeah, you know, it's always exciting to have like a really good aggressive.
Because they're always there every game, no matter what. There's always the front row is like
very specific time and attack. Usually
for like K-pop star idol level fucking chicks.
He's gonna go through. He should be okay. And I think it's why, you know, it's been
Is it
exciting.
just
to see
me,
JL
Callie,
make
or the
some of those
bots getting,
adjustments.
like,
He's
out of
not
hand?
overextending as much. He's not
We've had
trying
like
to force
8 bots
situations as
today
much.
already. This is
And,
fucking
you know, it's
ridiculous.
very different from the way that Solkey has played, because Solkey, he'll play keep away, but he just seems to know how to always engage with a win. In the game that he just lost, he was basically, oh, hold on a second, that's a crazy second racks over here. That's insane. He makes it in between the Overlord.
And this was a pool first from Effort, by the way, which is actually pretty common for Effort. Like he pool first pretty often. So like the build from Effort, in theory, destroys the build from Rush, but this is like a well-planned place because he skipped the Overlord. Like the Overlord went past that location and then he went in to build it. I've never seen that.
Yeah, that's super
I've never seen
interesting.
it.
Yeah,
I've never seen it once.
And
it's
that's a high ground,
basically
so
a
Lings
build.
going by won't see it. So that's, yeah, go ahead.
It's specific for this position. It's designed to have the second barracks in the blind spot. So you'll never see the Marines leaving, or the extra Marines leaving, so it looks like it's a standard poke. And, of course, all the Zergs have the math down perfectly on how to hold this. So here's what's crazy. He's not going to see this until like 3 seconds before it hits him. And you might look at this and go, I mean, is one extra Marine and then
Yeah,
another
but that's
extra Marine
enough.
that much? Oh, yeah.
That's enough. That's
Sweetie,
25% more
extra-
power.
It's massive. One Ling going to come in here and try to scout because, of course, he doesn't see the command center down here, so he's trying to figure out what's going on. But now he's going to see this rush coming here and hitting. And I can't emphasize enough how close this barracks is to this base. The reinforcements are going to be huge. Marines make in like 5 seconds. So this is going to be crazy.
Yeah, the
He's
drones
bringing
are
down the
having to be
drones.
pulled. He thought this was going to be a vulture, so he was always going to make the sunken, so the timing always had to be at this time. And it looks like there's enough here. If he can kill the SCV, he kills the SCV, but another
See
SCV
what I
is
mean?
coming.
These guys are just
Another
coming
SCV
out of
came
nowhere.
down. Rush had to plan for that as well. Oh, man. Great execution so far from these Terran players.
Did you get the sunken up?
Okay, so he's got one sunk. The SCV accidentally goes inside. He's backed it up and just repair. Now remember that you actually can't target with a bunker.
Why?
This is something a lot of people, even if they've watched Starcraft for a long time, if you don't
Yeah, so it's
play
gonna hit the
Starcraft,
hatchery and not the thing. So,
and
so
it's
far
better
I'll have to
to
sleep.
heal the hatchery up.
That's okay, Callie. Go to sleep, man.
He did lose some rings. He
Go
lost
have a
some
nap.
games. He was forced to make a sunken
Go pass
colony.
out. Go have
Where do you
great
feel like Terran's
dreams.
at right now, Artosis?
Create great worlds.
So this wasn't.
I would have liked to know the plot that you got. That would be, I mean, maybe we can talk about that on the podcast. Your new plot.
You can see his supply 18 of 18.
If it's like too complicated to type out.
I have a wall. He's had to make a lot of lings. He had to make a sunken. I think we lost a drone or two during the fight as well. But it was a good block by Effort because the plan was solid. I think a lot of Zergs die there, but he placed the sunken perfectly under duress. Like the sunken has slightly longer range than a bunker, and he placed it exactly one hex away from where the bunker could hit. So that was like really good placement that allowed him to force rush back. But yeah, I definitely look at this and say I would take Rush's position every day of the week.
Interesting. So we're going to go up to 3 barracks here. Gas is coming in. We have the layer coming along. It's not done yet. We'll probably have a spire after that. But there's a lot of Marines behind us. I mean, Rush can definitely put some more pressure here. That could mean some more forced sunken colonies. So it's going to be a little bit of a claustrophobic game here from Effort.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult to fight back from this position. I like he's taking his time. You can tell like what a pro he really is. Sometimes players will look at something like this, be like, oh man, okay, what risks do I take or whatever from here? But I think he's looking at the position realistically and like, okay, yeah, I'm behind here, but I can fight back. You know, Effort has great skill. So like the third hatch in the main base, I think is a big giveaway to that. Where like, I mean, he could try to sneak that somewhere and build up resources, but instead, you know what? He's going to drone up. He's going to get his mutilisks out, and he's going to try to fight the good fight here. And you know, I think he has potential here to fight back and be all right.
And this does not appear to be any kind of a Valkyrie rush, by the way. It's funny how much this game looks like the previous game, complete with the fire bed here to plug this up. It's very these parts of TVZ can be very formulaic.
Mhm.
So he's going to come forward here and try to force some more sunken colonies up. But we saw 3 barracks down there, and I don't think the factory was rushed out, but that I think is going to be starting soon if it hasn't.
Oh, that was a good catch.
He stims and catches some of these lings. You can see the sunken colony placement is really funky looking. That's him trying to utilize the first very hurt sunk. That's why they're kind of placed like that. Normally you wouldn't want them actually placed in this way. Yeah, it's just like they oh no, this is not good news.
He goes
right
for the
here.
dive. There's nothing to block here.
Yeah, the lings were
Sometimes
a little
we'll
bit
see
far
an Evo
back.
chamber thrown down. Oh my God.
Oh my God, Terrans are just
Is it
destroying
game over?
today.
Oh.
That's
Well, this
GG.
is, yeah, GG.
Okay.
This
All
is
right.
Gonna be ZVZ.
Yeah.
Dude, I think Sulky might get eliminated. Effort for Sulky, ZVZ's.
Well,
This is
what I was saying
crazy.
at the beginning
This
of-
is
of the
fucking
group is
crazy.
This is how I see Sulky possibly getting eliminated is if he loses the best of 1 to a good barracks build order, a good strategy, then like now he has to play effort in a best of 3 for elimination. Dude, effort ZVZ is super top tier.
Yeah.
Like I
I'd
actually
say
think
it's
he's
always
better
top
than
three.
ZVZ.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
he's
this
better
is a
than ZVZ than Sulky.
crazy thing. Oh my God. If
This
Sulky
is
knocks
insane,
out,
man.
it's between Effort and Soma who
What a
wins.
surprise.
Like,
Um,
I don't think
well, we
think
got a
anyone
little
else
bit
can
of a
beat them.
taste of
But then
a
again,
close
it's
spot
just Soma's
ZVZ.
like
By the way, I love
ZVP and
Barracks'
ZVT are so
hidden
strong
barracks.
too. I don't know about
I'm sorry,
Soma,
Russia's hidden barracks.
and
This is the problem, man. We
I
got a
think
guy off
Effort
the barracks here. I'm all
ZVT
over
is
the
a little
place.
lacking.
Hiding the
Definitely
barracks in
compared to
between the two
Sulky's.
Overlords was genius. Was a beautiful play.
Yeah, that was so
And
smart.
even though
That was
Effort
such high
survived, I think
IQ.
the follow-up attack was just too good.
I think so.
He even set
really well done from
like
Rush. Just
I
some good
think
execution, some
I
good
think
ideas.
Effort thought
These
Rush
Terrans
was further
came
behind than he
very
was.
prepared for these best of ones. But I bet you
By
they
doing the
didn't
barracks
prepare
move.
much for Terran
But
versus Terran. So this
it
next
didn't
match
really
should
set
be
him
an
back. It just
interesting one.
moved the alignment of when
Now we're
his
gonna have a
units came
TVT
out.
coming up here. Barracks versus
Because otherwise the
Rush.
barracks would have been
One of
built
these two is
later,
going to be the first player to move on to the round of 8.
so he wouldn't have
We
had
are
those
gonna
like
get to
first
that
3 or
after
4
the short break.
units.
What up, everybody? Welcome back. What a crazy start to the round of 16. I
Yeah,
can't
no, this is
believe
insane.
This is what we're working
What
with.
a
So I
timeline!
think Rush gets out, but man, who knows? Maybe Barracks causes an upset here.
Mhm.
We're going to have Effort versus Sulky for the elimination match here. And I think that could be a very tough match here for Sulky. So Group A, I said in my prediction on my YouTube and on my Twitch stream that this is probably going to be a very straightforward group. Totally not the case.
Yeah.
Totally exciting
Same.
and unusual. And,
It's like Sulky's getting out
yeah,
wins
I think
between
that's
like
gonna be
I didn't
really
even
bad.
consider Barracks that
Yeah,
much.
yeah, it-
That's
it
how much of an
certainly
up and comer he
I
is.
have no idea who's really going to move forward here. You know, you mentioned Rush. I do think Rush is a better player than Barracks, and I don't think Rush is going anywhere, and I think he's
TVT
still
best of
improving.
3.
But Barracks is improving like incredibly fast. Well.
Wait, did the
incredibly
muff
fast, but
just fall
Starcraft
out of his
Terran
headset?
Time frames. It's so funny because like you start playing Starcraft and it's like I mean maybe if you're really talented in like 5 or 6 years you'll be good.
If that's what
And
happened,
it's
that's
just kind of the
fucking
way it is. And
hilarious.
obviously
He's like,
been in ASL for
yeah,
years,
it did.
Like, he is really coming up at the moment. And
Stella
I mean,
wants her
he's-
mother's love.
his
Mother wants
strategies
to
have been
revive
good for a
Isabel.
while now. I
Isabel
think
got
he's
killed
getting
by
good players.
Belfry
The mechanics
after
are
she
great. He doesn't
poisoned
really seem to
Corwin
panic much. He
and
keeps
her
it to
son
fix his little
Gawain.
headset here.
Stella
I
learned
was
somewhere on
watching
the
that,
journey
I'm
that
like,
she
I
doesn't
think they
need
might
to
have
force
to
her mother
pause
to
here.
love her. She needs to
This
love
is-
herself.
It's
So that's the want versus a need.
Headphones, man.
I
Just
love
cover
that,
the
Callie.
fix.
That's such a good character
Yeah,
arc.
Like, I don't know. I think he's kind of taking the place as the other good Terran, right? Like we've had Light and Sharp as like top 3 to 5 Terrans. Well, Light is like top 2 forever. Sharp as top 5 forever. Rush came up pretty quickly into that group. And then we had JYJ Royal come up. But JYJ and Royal, like, I actually think Barracks is better than both of them now. They're both still very good and everything, but like they aren't playing up to the level that they did, you know, a couple years ago. So I think it's like at the top of the Terran heap, like Barracks is joining into the top 4 with Sharp, Light, and Rush at this point. So like he's becoming someone that a round of 8 shouldn't be crazy, just like it's not for Sharp or Rush or Light.
The Terran landscape has been shifting very quickly.
It's
been very interesting. You know, I think you and I were in agreement that it was probably just going to be Light at the forefront, and you know, it would be a pretty clear lineup from there. But man, I mean, it's been very interesting to see who's come out on top since Flash's absence, and who knows?
Stella's like, do I bring Isabel back
You know, Rush in a different position.
so I can win my mother's love, or do I honor Gawain by making sure Isabel stays dead, which was her punishment for doing all this to Corwin?
Champion. But he's still hungry for it. Anyways, guys, we're switching into best of 3s. This is Rush versus Barracks.
That's I love that level of depth, Callie, of the character. Because we all know how potent
Rush here in the top right.
maternal love is, and familial love, right?
So cross spawns here in
so
the matchup.
The things we do for love, the things we do for our family, right?
I think it's
and in this twisted, fucked up world, it's not that far off.
And we have like the most plain
for
maps in a row,
you know
that we possibly can get at this.
Having to
like
choose the lesser of
and,
two evils.
Pulsar's third. I think Metropolis is second. So that's kind of the weird.
So I think that's a great struggle for Stella.
Relatively standard.
Her love, like the clash between her love for Gawain and her love for her mother.
I really want to see where Barracks' standing is right now in his Terran versus Terran, because we see enough of Rush. We've seen him up at the top for long enough. You kind of get a good idea. It's like, yeah.
And then that's like the difference between, you know, familial love and like relationship love.
Don't see him play TVT very often.
And it's like, which one is stronger?
Yeah, I think you're right. We've known Rush as, I think, never had a real weakness in TVT here.
Not doing the weird thing happening, because I accidentally made someone think Belfry and Nell are related. This has happened 3 times now.
And, you know, if he had a build order that could take down Sulky...
Who would think that Belfry and Nell are related?
You know, I mean, Sulky basically just blindsided by those Valkyries. The mutas weren't there. The tech that he had...
I never got that feeling.
It was tech that is basically... very strong.
I always think of Belfry as almost not even human.
So I don't know. I mean, let's see. You know, Flash still follows StarCraft. He's been giving Barracks a decent number of builds. So maybe there's going to be some cool
I
ideas.
said that everyone with L at the end of their names are family.
A center 11 racks, there's nothing too special about that. But he's shifted it to the side. Because center 11 racks is like, that's what you do if you want to factory expand, but you don't want to get behind versus like.
But it excludes Belfry and Faye Bell.
Some of the counter meta play to that is to sometimes scout center if you're doing like a command center first or a gaseous
well,
expansion.
Belfry doesn't end in L.
Find a barracks being built.
It's not Belfry L. It's not Free Bell.
When you scout it, but
it's
if you
Belfry.
Scout it early enough, you might just win the game by killing the SCV.
Faye Bell might be a little bit different, but there's always an exception to the rule. So it's good that you have one that is an exception to the rule. I like that, Callie. That's really good. But I don't feel Belfry...
The nice thing is his barracks will get there very quickly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, he can look at this
even if I knew that, I wouldn't have assumed that with Belfry. But Faye Bell makes sense. So, explaining and saying, clarifying that Faye Bell isn't, but Faye Bell and Belfry are like 2 halves of the same whole. Yeah, and that's why it can be the exception, right? But there's always good to have an exception. So I like that that's the exception.
Great control so far here.
But
from Barracks, he's got the lead. He's going to chase down that one weakened Marine. Remember,
yeah, from that I could see why someone would think that.
Has not been landed, so he can't make more Marines for the time being. Both sides are going to have a factory finish, but this means Barracks can basically run in here and take a look at what's going on here. No command center on the low ground just yet.
He's going to turn around and make it, though. That was actually really good control on both sides. I like how Rush turned his one-hit Marine around as soon as he saw the Marines shuffled by that attack move there, or following attack from Barracks. And Barracks actually goes add-on right away. No Vulture. So that's kind of an interesting
And Callie, even if they
Will he go
are
siege chain?
related,
Probably,
you
I
know.
would say. But of course, that opens up, like, if Rush just
maybe that just makes
happens
the
to send a
story
Vulture
more
across the map, you
interesting.
can get a nice advantage there, but
And they don't have to be like
it's a risky
directly
situation
related.
to
They
do
could
that.
be distantly related, right? And maybe that could be a
This is
struggle
gonna
that
come
they
up
find out
here,
later
see
that
the
they're
add-on.
actually related.
The Vulture comes out, able to pick this off.
Oh, that's so interesting.
But there is one
So
question, like
he's
the
actually going for a
eight
very,
legs
very,
of
very
Elias,
fast
right?
upgrade with
Is
Vultures.
Belfry contained within those 8
My
legs?
best guess
Oh, because Belfry is
that
like,
that
I don't
would
know,
be a
1,000
Mines
years
upgrade
old.
and
Yeah.
also go Armory. If that's a speed
Yeah.
upgrade, then this
So
is
like
a
they could be
very
super
near
distantly
field.
related, but it's like it's not.
I'm actually really
You know, it's
excited
like
to
saying
see how it
everyone
goes
in
because this
Ireland is like
it's a
in a
little bit
way
janky, but
different,
it's
distantly related, or
cross
someone in like
spawn, so you can
England, like, you
sometimes
know,
get away with
because
funny stuff like
if
this,
you've been in that
where
place for like
you
thousands of
focus,
years,
like, on maybe
it's
getting
highly
upgrades
likely
out,
that
and you're like, yeah,
everyone
I'm
from the
further away,
area
it's hard
has
for him to
some
cross the
sort
map.
of relation,
Maybe a very
right?
fast speed upgrade,
It's
I
just
can
so
run around
distant,
my
it's
opponent,
not
that
going
type
to
of thing,
affect,
and get a bunch of
uh,
SCVs, but he only has, yeah, it was a fast
necessarily,
speed
like,
upgrade. So look at
genetic,
this.
you know,
Cross spawn, he is getting
cause
3
genetic
factories up.
problems.
But if Rush just sits here and macros normally, he'll be completely fine. If these Vultures get in and get some SCVs, that's going to be a big moment.
Yeah, this seems like something that could punish really hard if Rush isn't prepared. But, you know, for Rush,
What
there's
was the
not
other
a
thing
whole
you
lot
said?
he
My
has
memory
to
is
do
getting
other than
worse.
stay back at home. So he's not gonna
Of
stay back at
the
home.
8 legs of
Yeah,
Elias,
these
is
Vultures are gonna
Belfry
come
one
in
of the
here.
8 legs of
3
Elias?
Vultures will
Or is he a
one-shot
separate
SCV,
entity?
so this damage is
A
gonna
separate
go,
star?
out really fast.
Yeah, he has to do the counterattack. He cannot do anything but this. But the thing is, this is the problem with the fast speed upgrade. Like, your factories are a little bit slower, so your opponent will have more Vultures. And so he picks off a bunch of Vultures there really quickly. And look at this. Now he's going to get a lot of SCVs as well. They're both dealing so much damage to each other here.
Yeah, unfortunately, some of these Vultures from Rush are rallied onto the low ground. He's going to get those repaired, so the SCVs are going to be executed the moment that they come out.
Belfry, oh, he
And
was
you can see
with
that Barracks is
Elias
basically
as
trying
Faye
to come
Bell,
down
and I don't know how
regain
Belfry
control
was
of his
made.
low ground.
Okay.
Both sides losing tons of SCVs in the
But
process.
Nell is a piece of Elias, right?
Yeah, this is
Like,
this
she's
is
one of
really
the
hard
8
to
legs?
call because we
Like,
didn't get to actually watch
like
any
Nell,
of, the 3
Osric,
Vulture Rush go in and how many SCVs got.
Corwin.
Okay, well, that is a lot of SCVs killed by Rush, no doubt about that.
I don't know if
think
Gawain and
Rush has a
Stella
slightly-
are.
Yeah, see, now he's trying
And
to
then I don't
catch
remember
up.
any of
It's
the
like,
other
okay,
ones.
4 there. We got 10 there, another 4 going down, so that's 18, 20, 21-ish SCVs maybe, or yeah, 21 to 24 SCVs I'd say on that side. I think Rush is a bit ahead here. That's what it looks like.
Oh, would Isabel
Yeah,
have
well,
been one?
SCVs are going to be pulled here, and I mean, right now,
Which
Barracks
leaves
is a
2 more
lot of
characters
Vultures,
I'm
man.
not thinking
You know,
of.
the SCVs are not high enough number to do either damage or repair that really matters.
Yeah, this is a
And
bit
I
of an
mean-
This
issue.
might be Barracks'
Yeah.
win.
Where I'm seeing Vultures continue, to be rallied down the ramp, which means that they're going to just be executed. So, I mean,
GG.
Rush, okay, that's going to
Wow.
be it. GG.
Game 1
Wow.
Wow,
goes
what
to
a game.
Barracks. Barracks
So
might
the
get
cool
out
teched
first.
Builds. The thing is, I think Rush mostly played that right. He didn't take a very good defensive position with his Vultures in his natural there. You know, you have to be really, really careful because Vulture versus Vulture is similar to like a Muta versus Muta or Mass Dragoons fighting each other or Zerglings fighting each other. It's like, I mean, if you have like one more, it makes a big, big difference. There are little things that you can do to kind of stop that from necessarily ending the game, but I felt like they both played it very well in the early portions there, and then just Rush kind of flubbed a little bit there at the end, because I think he did have more SCVs. So if he sat in that very defensive position, like made a line of Vultures, maybe he has a depot in front of it, Barracks can't finish him there, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, there are some things that happen in StarCraft that happen so fast. If you haven't already prepared for it, it's very difficult to ever get it under control. And it does feel like Vultures with speed when they get into your base. That's one of those things. Like, it's really hard when he has to do the counterattack. I'm talking about Rush. He's trying to micro that.
There's
He
the
doesn't have
dark
his Vultures
chocolate.
rallied at his ramp.
Ostrich,
sent a couple
Angela,
vultures to their
Nell,
deaths down
Gawain,
there.
Corwin,
Yes, that's a big
Isabel, Belfry, and
Yeah.
Stella. Okay, so Angela.
All right, guys, we're gonna go
I
to
didn't remember
Metropolis
who
here for
Angela
Game 2.
is.
Remember the
Who's
winner of the
Angela?
series. Moving on to the round of 8 here in the ASL.
Because it's like, as far as I remember, it's Ostrich and Nell. It was Corwin and Isabel, but Isabel's dead. Gawain and Stella, and then Belfry was on his own trying to get with Nell. But am I wrong? And it's Ostrich and Angela,
Okay, Barracks here
and
in
Corwin
bottom
and his.
left, and Rush in the top left.
So, in Terran versus Terran, right?
No,
like,
that doesn't make sense.
3
Because Corwin's a
Factory Vulture is
chick.
obviously like kind of the base.
Something in my head is wrong here.
Built around.
Because
And on
Ostrich and
different maps, it
Gawain
has
are the
different
only two
strengths.
dudes, or and
So
Belfry are the only
basically,
dudes,
any
right?
map
Everyone else is a
where
chick.
containment
After Nell got attacked by
gets you a
Stella's fire and
huge
Belfry raised her
advantage,
to use magic.
makes the Vulture opener
Okay.
more important, or countering the Vulture opener more important. This map is similar to, like, do you remember Apocalypse, that 3-player desert map with the big high ground?
Oh yeah, sure.
So you know how, like, in PvZ, for instance, you really don't want to let them get lurkers up there? In Terran vs. Terran,
Yeah.
siege tanks up there are even worse, if you can even imagine such a thing. It's like, just becomes unbreakable. And while there's not a high ground like that here, there's a long, thin choke that feeds into the center. So if you gain map control and then siege tanks there, the guy who's contained is in a terrible position, a wretched position.
Yeah.
So map control is going to be incredibly important in this game. And that's either going to happen, it's either going to be like 3 Factory Vulture versus 3 Factory Vulture that builds towards 5 Factory, or it could be a Wraith opener that builds into 5 Factory quickly thereafter. So I don't know 100% which way they'll open, but those are like kind of the builds that I think are strongest here.
And you got to remember that, you know, when it comes to, it's actually true on a lot of maps too. I mean, TVT I think has very, very punishing contains. I mean, maybe TVT StarCraft 1, the most punishing contains there are in all of the StarCrafts. But yeah, I mean, just trying to get in and out of that bottleneck. Also, all the expansions are kind of hard to attack into once they get secured. These bases at, you know, the top, the bottom, the left, and the right are very small. If you can get enough tanks up there and turrets, there's not a lot of room to drop in there. The expansions look bigger than they are, but a lot of the area in the high ground places, top, middle, left, right, are on unlandable terrain, unbuildable terrain too.
I tell you, it's Metropolis is like a frustrating map in a lot of ways for a Terran player. It's hard to fit your depots and your factories. You kind of have to go way up the side in that empty area. So, you know, things like dropship play could be really strong later here if we get into a normal game like that. You have to really make sure you're on top of throwing down missile turrets where you need them and everything. It's kind of a wild map. I actually wonder, Tasteless, do you still play Metropolis? Have you vetoed it? Do you like it?
I play it. I don't know that I love it, but it's not in my vetoed lists. I do think that there's a lot of valuable ideas on this map.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you have a huge main that's shaped like a croissant. Like, so there's places they can like drop up there. It kind of conditions you to get really good at defending that. I find PvP fun on this map if I go for Speed Shuttle Reaver. You know, there's so much room to drop behind the base or to go around through the large mains. So yeah, I mean, look, I think this is a great map. I welcome it. There is something a little bit frustrating about trying
open my
to
door.
move
It's
around
100
on this
degrees
map
in here.
specifically. Similar to Retro, in that, you know, you can right-click somewhere and you'll find out your army goes through a third base instead of through the middle. And I always find,
Why is it so easy to get
and,
out?
you know,
It's so hard to
maybe
get
it
back
matters
in.
less when you're a veteran of RTS games, but I always don't like it where if you right-click incorrectly on the mini-map, you can like have your army split in half.
Yeah.
Or just go a path that didn't make any sense, that wasn't totally obvious when they started to leave. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. That can be like a really, really frustrating thing. I can't tell you how many times I've lost because half of my tanks went around something in the center and like zealots just run into them or something, or they run into siege tanks or whatever it might be. Like that type of stuff can be very, very frustrating. But yeah, Metropolis, yeah, I don't know. I appreciate the design of the map in a lot of ways, but It is frustrating for building placement. Now,
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
especially if you're trying to make like a bunch of like, if I'm trying to make gateways near my entrance, I find
Yeah.
it's hard for me to get them in a position that fits neatly and I can get everything out.
Absolutely. Now, Rush sees that this is going to be a 3-factory build from his opponent. He went 2-factory, no add-on for a while, but it looks like he added an add-on. And, okay, yeah, there's the, I almost called it a Goliath den. There's the Goliath den cases. For TVT, that's basically what it is.
Oh, before I take my
it's
meds,
interesting
what's
to
up,
see him do
Callie?
an opener like this, because generally you seed map control with this opener, but there are ways to play it where you take kind of a little bit of a forward position and you go back into Vulture off of it. Sharp actually has some cool variations of this particular build, which I think could do well on this map. But generally, what we're seeing here is he'll go mines, he'll lay a few mines out, he'll add some Goliaths so that 3-factory Vulture doesn't kill him. But where does he go from there? Does he go Comsat and tanks? Does he go, sometimes people go Starport with that. This doesn't look like a Starport variation for me, but sometimes you can go Vulture as well and try to do some battling for that map control.
Now, when you have, like, let's say you have mass vultures and they have vultures and some Goliaths, how does the targeting priority go for the player with only vultures?
So generally, you're not even going to
Ah,
engage.
nice. That's epic,
But you
Callie.
would
Looks
target down
great.
vultures. You would never target a Goliath.
Hell
the Goliath
yeah.
is super tanky against the vultures. So if you have to take a fight, you want to target his vultures down immediately. But
You gotta
generally,
be
what
like
you
this.
do is you just
Where
pull
is it?
back, pull back, pull back, because the Goliaths can't actually attack. Like they're a defensive unit in this
Here
situation.
somewhere.
As soon as the Goliaths try to leave the base, you just counterattack, and there's no way they can deal as much damage as you. It's just impossible. The vultures kill SCBs too quickly. But he
Here
actually
somewhere.
skipped over the Goliaths.
There it is.
Like he made that as like a kind of a fail-safe type of thing, but he's made siege tanks from here, and he's adding that 3rd factory.
Okay, how about this, Callie? Yeah, it's got to be like, here, let me try this. Much better. One of those dead cat things. Yeah, I don't have like oops. I don't have like thing for it. Yeah, Callie, should we try doing ASMR? What do you think about that? Was that good? Like, do I need to get better? Was that bad, or was that like in the right direction? Is that going in the right direction? Because there's also like nail filing too, like this, like. Oh, I guess that doesn't work. Right direction needs more floof. Yeah. Sounds about right. But anyways, fun little experiment.
It's kind of a funny game. I think if Barracks runs up, lays
awesome.
a bunch of mines,
I like the nail filer.
he's in a
Yeah.
pretty good spot. I would like to see him get that map control immediately, though, and try to push up his own tanks and get that containment going, because I think he has a window for that.
Oh, you could also do like this is a good one too.
Looks like we could have that coming up here in a little bit. More tanks are going to come
Brushing
up.
your hair.
If they both attack at the center, somebody should be wrong, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's not generally how it goes, but I guess,
It
at this point in time, it would be Maybe it'd be whoever didn't move out first actually is going to be in trouble because, yeah, I mean, you need to get a setup. Even if you're going to force the map to be cut up right in the middle here, you got to get something going. And Rush is going to be moving out now. That's going to
I need one now. Must keep a secret from my mom, though. I don't know if she'd steal it.
Does he try to go back?
Well, he might go through the other way, and he is adding that 4th factory, which is not a big surprise. I'm really surprised that Barracks went siege mode before mines here. That's bizarre, but it seems like it's working for him really well. You can see Rush trying to come in here and take and engage, but his siege tanks can't reach the other siege tanks. I am getting chills once again. Barracks has brought these strategies. Tasteless.
Apparently I can work as a caregiver once my family gets older.
all day. I've never seen
there you go,
a
Callie.
game played like this where you go siege before mines in this position. That is fascinating. Because normally you're just like, yeah, I lay the mines, you can't come out, then the tanks come up and siege. Instead, he attacked quickly and used the vultures as a buffer for the tanks in siege mode. It's brilliant.
I was caught off guard when I saw the siege mode. I thought it looked kind of old.
Yes.
It's sort of like an old idea.
Yeah,
and I'll have to take care of my brother because he already needs help from my mother.
Here we are. You know, there's some very weak tanks in the front, so he actually picks off one. And, you know,
oh, he's repairing it! Oh, he still gets it.
Tanks, but if you get enough of them, that damage really piles up.
Oh, man.
2
and he's
red
got
tanks here. I'd love to see him unsiege this and just run. Oh, go, 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 go.
Yes, go. And he gets away.
This is great play from Barracks. But he saw that they were red, so he's going to run in and snipe them, as he should. Very, very important. Now, we're going to have to see Rush run out here and clear this really quickly before the siege tank grows. The siege tank count grows again.
Yeah, he's going to get contained.
He's got like a very limited amount of time. Because right now, if
you would be an amazing
right,
caregiver, by the way, Callie. Highly
so
amazing
really
caregiver.
Like, he should have more mines here. He only has a couple. And yeah, this is, you have to attack in. There's no other choice. Oh my God, and Barracks unsieges and moves back.
Well, he slips back out, man. Going for Wraiths here as well. Just as Rush feels like he might be gaining some ground here in the push.
Yeah, the Wraith ad is going to be an interesting choice. Rush actually did make an armory, right? Like that was part of the, if you go to factory, you need to make it just in case. So he does have that anti-Wraith if he needs it. It's if you catch him without an armory even started when a Wraith comes, it gets a lot of damage. But if they have one, it's like, okay, yeah, you might get a little bit, but it shouldn't be game ending.
So there's the third base made right at 6 o'clock. Even though Barracks has had to give up some of his position here on the map, he still basically has center control. We don't see the third starting here for Rush, although I know he might just send one over here to 9 o'clock to try to take that. A lot of times when you're on a map where one player's at the top, the other's at the bottom, and they're both on the same side, you'll see them expand. One guy takes the top, the other guy takes the bottom, and then the 2 bases in between become very important. Because like, the center-left base, it's a little ambiguous, like that probably goes to Rush. But not necessarily. Like you could have a game where someone just went up there very quickly and dominated that. And so if you do end up with split map versus split map, that's something you want to focus on. Because if one side has both of those bases, they're probably just
Barracks gone. You need a Barracks to build a factory, so he has to rebuild that. But I don't know if he has a second Barracks in his base because he knew that was going to happen.
Really feuded upon. A lot of times in the split map scenario, it's that middle
he's building one now.
Forces more action to
that vulture is freaking out. He's dancing.
Now Barracks has gone for these Wraiths. He doesn't really have a contain up. Like Rush has opened up the lane on the top, which is really important. Rush is taking his third base, which is important. A little bit of harassment coming on both sides, as you can see. I find it really cool that Barracks is trying to take bottom right during this. That's a very quick fourth base, but a good position for it, I would say.
Looks like Rush's vultures are going to get wiped out here. Not able to get too many kills there. And we got another with a fresh CC over here down in the bottom right. I mean, Rush feels like he's getting into a better and better spot. The Wraiths are coming through here. They're doing damage to these SCVs. I mean, it does feel like now Barracks is really
the Wraiths actually did get some damage off.
I mean, this third base
but Barracks is not upgrading on his armory.
So he is behind.
Whereas Rush is.
Doesn't seem to have
so he's going to be behind in upgrades. Every second counts here. He has to start that upgrade.
To glide around the map here and just generate threats.
And I'm thinking he thinks he started it, but he didn't.
Goliaths. Rush is committed to dropships. The same thing is now happening here for Barracks.
Yeah, Barracks does have double starport, so he could go for lots of dropships. But when you're going like Wraiths and dropships at the same time, your opponent will out macro you on the ground. So you got to be a little bit careful. You don't want to get too fancy. Because even though siege lines are strong, if your opponent just focuses on macroing out ground units,
that's how powerful mines are. Now the question is, he saw it, like it appeared on his map, but did he actually see it?
Like it looks to me like
it was there, but whether his eyes caught it or not is a different story. It was just on the outside of the mines.
But it looks like a game that could last a long time.
I think so. By the way, this is a
double draw.
I'm a little bit surprised wasn't really attended. I mean, this is one of the big defining features of this map is this huge empty area.
And then you can hit,
over
you can shell the natural from
there.
there.
Through over here, it's really hard to get things through up there because the whole area is so narrow to try to travel up into.
This is very annoying to deal with. And I think that Barracks wasn't ready for this. Oh my God, he's losing his wraiths while he's microing over there.
Yeah.
That is so painful. Oh my God, Rush is just going to run away with this.
Oh no, yeah, I think Rush is going to win.
Okay, so the reason why this was a smart move for Rush is also why it was like, well, that doesn't sound right. What I was about to say was like that's. The reason why it was a smart move is why Barracks was going to take damage from it. It's like basically Barracks had real air control with like 5 wraiths. If he finds your dropships, you're kind of screwed. So he kind of forgoes the regular anti-drop because he knows that he can punish you if you go drops, and thus he didn't punish it.
Yeah, because he was just
it was just where it's like, well, you really could hurt me if you find that I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And instead, he gets a ton of damage with this. This was a fantastic drop by Rush. You can
but
see
he does have the third base. That's the big thing that, like...
Yeah, I mean, this
Barracks has the third base.
Is causing such a headache. He's going to try to come in here, scoot up,
it's like
and siege.
The third base for Rush is so far forward, but
it's funny, we were talking about,
he's using the advantage of that with drops. So instead of having it as a disadvantage because you're closer and it's easier to contain, he's using the advantage of being super close by air.
There's so much surface area to push into,
and I think that's actually going to win him the game. Whereas Barracks is kind of like hiding his third base almost.
Barracks has get sent up here and just get ground up. You know, with the way the tanks are layered out here, the trades are pretty inefficient here. And look, I mean, Russia can just keep loading this. He could eventually, while keeping the natural expansion, not mining, push on top of infrastructure.
And look, he's just friggin' dropping them back and forth, right?
He took that bottom right base so quickly. If he hadn't done that,
that's crazy.
And in fact, it's getting to the point where he's getting really, really far behind. This is getting so hard to clean up. He's trying to utilize like wraiths that are going to have cloak here to help out, but I don't know that that's going to work. It seems like Rush is just getting so much damage. But if Barracks cleans it, Rush doesn't have a 4th base. So, like, there still can be comeback potential because of that. But look at this, the vultures, the picture-in-picture showing us in the bottom right.
Oh, he found it.
3 vultures from Rush are going to destroy all the SCVs at that 4th base.
And that base just can't be used right now. I mean, all the SCVs are going to get picked off. It doesn't even seem clear that Barracks
even noticed.
Had any time to really tend to this. And so all the workers are gone. In fact, I think he just noticed.
Yeah,
literally.
He's like, fuck.
And so now he's realized, okay, this base is gone.
And now Rush has a 4th base.
To Rush in a very, very solid position.
Oh man, this is so bad.
The raids are going to be driven away so easily by those Goliaths. A couple tanks are going to come down here, but there's so many here from Rush.
You know, the line.
This is looking so bad for Barracks.
Really smart. The fact that he just kept sending units in, maybe went a little bit too far down there, but
stop the 4th base for.
This is
Rush,
such a bad, tough position for Barracks to be playing from. Now, he's attacking up with these tanks. He actually should be able to force a cancel on that 4th base, which is nice. And he's still building his Wraiths squad, right? So, still some potential. I know he's, like, way down in supply.
He just lands it over there.
Like, if you can just get a little bit of a foothold and just siege just enough tanks, it becomes
he needs
really
to
hard
hit
for your
those
opponent to end the
fucking...
game. Like, Rush is right on the
Drop
brink of ending this
ships.
game, but
He needs
like,
to intercept those drop
Barracks is on
ships.
the
Like, look
brink
how
of
many
holding
wraiths he
on,
has.
maybe
He intercepts those
his
drop
main
ships,
base,
he
and then the
fucking
game will go on.
wins.
Does he want to try to load up just on the outside here, or does he want to try to... Okay, I guess this answers it. I was going to say, does he want to try to dive deeper for a stronger position here?
Barracks
Well,
missed his
that's
chance.
Oh my God,
That's-
I cannot imagine killing that. All your stuff is in the way. So, like, you can't even really get up here because of your depots. And also, by the way, all your depots are going to die. So by the time you get up there, your supply blocks too.
Yeah, and where do you build
I
those
mean, it's
depots?
so
There's-
brutal.
The map doesn't have good buildable terrain, so it's like really
Yeah,
hard actually
yeah.
without that area to build your depots. Barracks is going for
And,
a last phase attack.
Yeah,
here,
I think
but
Barracks
don't-
is gonna
I don't think
lose.
it'll be enough.
No, I don't
Whoa.
think this is going to cut it. He hasn't really made any ground here. You know, you just need a few Goliaths to chase away these
Yeah.
wraiths. And actually, there's much more tanks than I thought there. But I still think that Rush can just produce a little bit more. All these depots are gone. He's going to slide into the next position.
There's no
here.
supply anyways. It's
Sacking a couple
80.
tanks
It's
in the
90 to
process, but
140.
ultimately, He's going to come down here and look. By the way,
The
Barracks'
fourth
supply
base
block
really
right now-
didn't.
I mean, this is getting so painful. Main gas going to be eliminated here as well.
He's fighting
One
for
thing
his
we
life
should
though. It's
mention
going
is
for like
that
a
Barracks
base
has
trade.
+2 attack against just the +1 of Rush, so his tanks
Yeah.
are two-shotting. Makes a huge difference. Makes
Yeah.
you so much more efficient. So he's utilizing that really well. Like
They're both
he's
+2
still trying
now.
to push these bases, and he's doing a good job of like being a thorn in Rush's side out on the map. But Rush just has so much more right now. Barracks has got SCVs over to his 4th command center. He relocated that to the natural of the bottom right. So that was kind of I like that move. Like, you may as well just try to get it mining somewhere. And that gives him some opportunities here still, but his supply is so brutally low.
Yeah, 87 supply. He has no more.
There's not a lot of mining
I mean,
here
he
for
can
Rush.
ama-
You know,
he can
I'm
abandon his
appreciating actually just
main.
how few resources I should say
Maybe.
he has here at this third base. It's turned into kind of a scrappy game. You know, each side is struggling in their own unique way. You know, we have an income here for Barracks, but he can't really make that much because he's lost depots. You know, he's going to have to his factories lifted
Rush
off
is
if
like
he,
pretty
gets
solid
pushed
here.
any
Yeah,
further
okay, I
back
think
over
Rush
here.
wins.
So where Rush
He's
is
gonna get the
bigger,
4th
but, you know,
base.
the few bases he has mining are barely resource rich. Like, he has to get a 4th base up here soon.
He really does. I think maybe that's a command center floating up at that 4th base. I'm not really sure what
Yeah,
that
I
is.
think that might
It looks
be.
like
I thought it
is.
might be a barracks. Yeah,
It may
I mean,
be.
it could be a command center for sure.
Yeah, well, he definitely needs that. He definitely needs that. And, you know, Barracks is like making do with very little. He's got 84 supply is
Yeah, it's
so
insane.
incredibly low in Terran versus Terran.
And he has a 4th
you know,
base.
It's up around 150.
So he has more
Okay, I'm really in this
SCVs.
game.
Not, it's not because all his
that's
SCVs are dead.
Definitely making this difficult, but
Which
he's got
is
some good
fucked up.
positions. He's got the Wraith tank, and you know that can do a lot. But now +2 is done here for Rush, so that's going to help him really a lot on the defense.
Yeah, these tanks are shredding the tanks of Rush, though. It's looking very, very scary. The 4th base.
And now he's got the 4th base up, which
retaken here by Rush. It's
equalizes
totally
everything.
naked,
Plus, he's
totally
going to take
exposed.
out the 4th
But as
base,
long
which
as
has
he's mining
no
from it, he's fine.
defense because there's no
Similar
the
story here at the
contain
bottom
isn't
right,
across
Frenchie
the
Rush
map in an
pushing
arc.
Barracks' exposed
It's
base
just at the
and
3rd.
probably massacre a ton of these SCVs.
The supply is getting so low right now. Like he's
61,
trying really
yeah.
hard to end mining here. He knows that the mining is really poor for Rush.
He has like nothing
so maybe
now.
he can come back somehow with that.
But yeah, no, that's GG.
But
100%.
Rush has enough to
Third
work
game.
with. Even if things go wrong, like he can run around with this army.
This
I
is
love that he
crazy.
assigns
Who
us in
knows?
there. Barracks is doing every little thing. Like he's sieging in really good spots and everything, trying to grind down the units here of Rush. It's just Rush has destroyed his economy. His economy is gone. He's like literally not mining minerals right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is so crazy.
He thinks
This
Rush is in
like
the same
such a
spot he
brutal
is, so he's
DBT.
like, he probably
This
has
6
nothing
o'clock
either.
base, I think we've
but
almost taken away all the oxygen here for Barracks because he's not mining literally anywhere. And even though we see Rush, you know, he's taken a ton of damage. I think he's still repairing his command center over here at 9 o'clock. He's still mining from 12. And I think this is just enough. I mean, 36 supply now here for Barracks. What an insane game.
Mhm.
The fact that he's still in this game at 33 supply against 163
Yeah.
is laughable.
Yeah, right.
GG. Okay.
Like, well, hold on.
Hi, hey,
Buildings
Queen,
haven't
how's
all
it going?
worked
It's a
yet. Let's see what we got.
Starcraft
That
day.
is the win
Welcome,
condition basis. Let's not
welcome.
forget that.
Do you
So,
remember
yeah, did you
when
hear what
would
happened
play
today,
StarCraft
Queen?
For the first few months, and people would just like go ahead, you can kill all my buildings, and I'm like, leave. You need
Okay,
to
how are
leave.
you?
When are people
Well,
gonna
I mean,
figure
other
this out?
than,
Just leave when you're
yeah,
dead.
other than what happened,
When I'm really
some
angry
fucked
and
up
I'm
shit.
losing
World's
batteries,
going to
I will type,
Crazyville. World's
"Fuck
going
you,
to
kill all
fucking
my buildings," And
Crazyville.
then I lift everything and act like I'm gonna stay in it.
Oh.
But I want them to have that moment of like, oh no, not one of these.
Scary
No,
thought,
these
scary
guys.
thought.
Oh, he's gonna
Now I
hide his
gotta make
buildings.
scouts
Oh
and
man.
fire down his barracks over the floating islands and
Hey,
stuff.
how did you know it was a Protoss player I was talking about?
My big,
Exactly.
I think it's all a
It's too many
conspiracy,
times,
though.
man. That's when I finally
Behind
make
the
my
scenes,
scouts.
I think it's
The guy
all a
just doesn't
conspiracy.
leave the game. I go, all right, I guess I'm gonna have to make scouts and shoot down factories and eBays and barracks. So we're tied up 1-1.
It's too fucked up.
And,
It's too fucked up to
very
not be
different
orchestrated in
Barracks
some
winning
way.
With the Vulture skirmish in Game 1, he looked like he was going to be winning that, but Barracks really, didn't invest too much more than those drops in the main, and that was all he needed. So one more game with these two, and the winner of that is going on to the round of 16.
He means the round of 8. Round of 8. Don't really pay attention to politics. I knew who the guy was, like, by name, but, like, I didn't know anything else except he was loved and hated.
Okay.
Yeah, I know he was, like, a far
The final
right-wing
match between
kind
Barracks and
of,
Rush.
like, commentary
Barracks here in the top
dude.
left and Rush in the bottom right.
Like, political
I know.
figure kind of thing. Like,
Yeah, let's
advocate,
see what they
like,
got.
you know.
I really
But
hope that
I
they
don't.
do, like, just
I
kinda
really
standard
don't know
openers,
that
like
much
openers
about
that
him.
can
I know
fight
that
against each
there's
other
like
reasonably
been a
well,
lot of talk in the
because
last couple
Polestar
weeks
is
about
just
him
a great
because of some sort of
island. I
debate.
just love
Well, that
Polestar
debate
right
ain't
now,
happening
and
now. And the last I heard, like I haven't
there's
looked
no-
into it since, but
no
last I
big
heard he was
advantage,
dead.
Right?
Like,
Russia's
he
line
died.
will be slightly better, but it doesn't matter.
But
because
I don't know if that
it's
was
even
confirmed.
if you have a 4-second
But
faster
from what the
battery,
video that I saw,
travel distance.
he's
So,
fucking dead.
Yeah, we got Zeus there. Old
I didn't even know about the
Protoss
debate.
Pro in the
Yeah, it was
experience
supposed to
level.
happen in like a month or something like that.
But yeah, like,
I don't know who was supposed to
loving
debate who, and yes, he passed
Polestar
away at
makes
the hospital.
really
That's
interesting
yeah, that's what I
Terran
thought.
versus Terran games.
It
There's, like,
looked
a lot of
really
choices
fucking
that
bad.
they
Flitter
wanna
needs to
expand,
put
they
like
wanna move
fucking
through the map,
warnings
what
on
areas you
gore
wanna
and shit,
control.
man. It fucking shocked the
So,
shit out.
looking
Cause
forward to this.
I saw
It's gonna be
Asman
a pretty
posted,
interesting
oh, what
series
happened to
so far.
Charlie Kirk? And I was like, well, and then I fucking Twittered it, and
Yeah,
first
I
thing
really
was
enjoyed
fucking
it,
him getting
too.
shot, and I'm like,
That was really exciting.
god damn it, Twitter.
You don't normally have TVTs that there's that much action going on, and it's not too clear until maybe the last couple minutes who's going to take it. Both players winning in very asymmetrical ways.
Well, it
it
just
wasn't about
you know,
trading out stuff.
it
It's
makes
one guy,
it makes me wonder
losing
where the
workers
world of
constantly
politics
and
is
then
going.
infrastructure, while the other guy's just
If
very low on
if we
bases
can
with
no
that advantage to
longer
get into a
have
position that's far more
rational
complex
discussions,
to
yeah, my Xbox son
The-
just
the
me
idea
a
of going
video
dropship
of it from
into two-port raid,
X. Just sent.
that can be a nightmare. But he
Yeah,
executed it. The
that's,
race out of position, and he got a big advantage there.
Fucked up,
So
but-
good job on Rush. But I would
I
say
mean,
overall, you look at
the-
like, these games
the
strategically,
the
without any
conspiracy
doubt,
crazy
okay,
part about it is because now he's a martyr.
Like strategy-wise,
They,
Like,
and from what I saw, it was like some
speed
old guy or
into
something
siege
like
mode?
that. Some like fucking like
This is not something you
60-year-old
see.
like
It's
veteran looking
speed into
dude.
mines into siege mode so that you have the
Um,
containment up of the mines already, and then you just walk your tank
But
across
he
the
literally
map.
made him a
That's
martyr.
Classic way to get
Which, like-
advantage in that position. But the
Oh
fact
no,
that
they
he's like, well,
haven't
he'll,
they haven't
like,
caught the
take
guy.
some
Oh,
counter
okay.
raise,
Then
and then I'll have
whatever
siege mode.
thing I saw of like
And
cops
I'll be able to
holding
push
some
through
old
everything
guy.
because he literally
I was
can't
like,
target my
fucking
tanks 'cause I have
really?
longer range and all these
Because you think it'd
forces.
be like a young person that would do it,
Brilliant
right?
stuff this guy
So
is
fucking
doing.
crazy.
And whether it's
How
him
like
or Flash
how do
or
you
someone
have like
else or
no
some
security
combination
at
of
a
that,
university
Barracks
like
continues
that?
to bring some of the best strategies that we see in ASL.
Like it makes me so
They've also
concerned
had a
for
lot of,
public. The person they
games
detained got
where
let go because they
both players
determined
are-
they
are
weren't
in
the
very
shooter.
close
Oh,
proximity.
okay, so they did detain
That's pretty
someone,
unusual
but he
strats
wasn't
come
the
out
shooter.
there.
Okay.
And so we've kind of gotten to see, you know.
Yeah, it was really confusing when I was looking up because it was like right as it happened, right?
Hard in close spots, how exactly that pans out. Although I guess now that I think about it, the game that
and the whole time I was like fucking shocked because the fucking video, because there's no warning whatsoever. I was like, whoa, what's this? Is he gonna say something crazy? But I didn't have the volume on, so all I just saw is him just go like that, and it was like, and I was like, ah! Why would you allow that? Why is there no warning on this? What the fuck?
I can't remember now, Taste. Yeah, it was cross-spawn. You're right. It was top right.
It's a little different if you're expecting it.
Yeah,
right?
Couldn't have both been on the bottom.
But I didn't know he got fucking shot.
I mean, we've had some pretty, anyways, interesting kind of explosive games.
But yeah, it makes me so concerned for public discourse, because if we can't talk to each other anymore out of fear of killing each other,
I've seen so many Starcraft games.
It's the Dark Forest theory, literally in action, in like the most like.
My hard drive is
and I don't think it was a sniper. At least to me, it sounded like a marksman rifle. I didn't hear any of the sound for it, and I don't know anything about guns, so I have no idea.
Takes that vulture out. I don't know that he saw the starport that was over there.
He did.
Oh, he did see it. Okay,
he saw it. And
that's big.
Immediately throws down that armory. But even if your opponent knows that it's starport, like the starport build still does.
Yeah, public discourse.
Like, it forces Goliaths.
That's what like the Dark Forest idea is, that you can't make a sound, you can't do anything, because either you're gonna scare away your prey or you're gonna alert other hunters to think you're prey who are gonna shoot at you. And it's like the idea of no one can communicate with each other. But it's being put into practice in a world where we have literally the most amount of communication we've ever had. And it makes me so scared. Like, this is the event that actually makes me fucking scared for the direction that we're going. That if this shit doesn't correct itself, like, this is gonna become like a weekly thing where anyone who disagrees with someone just goes out and fucking kills them.
Plugging up the entrance over here.
And that's not the direction we want to go. I'm an army brat. My dad was in the army, so I've heard gunshot a lot. Okay. I've only heard it as like hunting, right? And not like specifically close up.
It's got to be dealt with pretty quickly. So we're gonna have Goliath
just like from a distance, right?
And in the meantime, there's some factories being added by Rush. I'd imagine he's going to get an
World's a
academy
fucked
really
up place.
Well.
I don't even know. I don't even know anymore.
And, probably he'll just
like, it's one thing when it was like
as quick as possible. Now the second add-on there from Barracks is
kind of
it's
like, people are trying to kill Jews. It's like people have been trying to kill Jews for fucking thousands of years. It sucks, but it's like nothing new. But like, as far as I know, like, this guy wasn't Jewish. In fact, he was probably, like, if anything, anti-Semitic, right? But still, I don't know what his actual viewpoints are. I'm surprised for what state it happened in. Utah is home of the Mormons. I don't know anything about the states.
We've got the Wraiths just chipping away.
That's like considered like a very safe, like understanding, progressive.
Tanks now here for what is the number that you want?
Progressive but conservative type area, right? Because I'm guessing he was very conservative because he's right wing. So it was very like maybe had a little bit of a race connotation to it, whether that's like black people or just immigrants in general or like Jews, and then a little bit of like the elite with like corporations and stuff like that. I'm guessing it's something a mix between those two.
Normally what I would do, like if I have a Marine, let's say, is like
from like what I've heard discussed about Charlie Kirk. But yeah, it's only through like third-party rhetoric that I've heard anything about him. But I think he's connected in some way to Nick Fuentes or something like that. Like they're on the same kind of spectrum. Biggest religion in Utah is Mormon, but I don't know if Utah is red or blue. Okay.
Have like
and he's like very like he's a very like pro-Trump kind of person too, right?
They just target stuff like immediately.
So this is like another anti-Trump push by Democrats against Republicans, which is going to be how it's like going to be spun.
Keep in mind, we could see Barracks try to come in here and maybe even plant mines right in front of tanks. Russia's backing up. He's regrouping.
Yes, he's
I was
Republican.
going to say adding more vultures to the group, but now the vultures are separating. This would be an amazing moment for Rush to come in here and pounce on those tanks that are completely isolated.
Well, he does see the vultures. He sees the vultures over there. And we saw a little.
Well, I agree with Asmund, where most likely this kind of thing has stemmed from online rhetoric. And just people in echo chambers online egging someone on with calls of violence, or conservative, if that's different. Conservative is like...
There's no siege mode here for Rush again.
Like there's like the up and down spectrum, and there's the like side to side spectrum, right? So like there's like left wing democracy, then the right wing Republican, and then there's like low down like bottom end conservative and like high end liberal. So it's like you can be like left wing liberal, left wing conservative, or right wing liberal, right wing conservative, right? So it's not necessarily a Republican or Democratic thing. It's like a separation as well. Like conservatives are more like for the people, like you know, raising up those that are already at the top, whereas like liberal is more like using outside assets and outside the country like alliances to help like maintain and build communication and allies across, whereas conservative is more within the country. Yeah.
Barracks should crush this.
So Trump is more of a conservative Republican, but he's not super conservative because he plays on a very much like allied world stage with like Russia, China, Korea, the Middle East and stuff like that, but he's very conservative when it comes to like policies in the US, and he uses that conservatism to kind of push those views like to the outside world. So he's kind of in a spectrum of his own, which makes him very like potent for people, but a lot of people think he's not conservative enough in the aspect of like being harsh on crime, even though he's literally bringing like the National Guard in to stop crime and fix cities, and like going after like judges and stuff like that are causing these repeated offenses, or like looking into situations like how a 14-time released criminal winds up killing a Ukrainian refugee. Like those are huge conservative points. Whereas I think most of the liberal points are probably mainly Russia, Ukraine, Palestine, Israel. Which is like why people are more concerned, because it used to be more liberal in the past because America was like, let's say, stronger on the inside. Like, you know, the American dream, people could afford housing. Like, we're talking like 1980s, 1990s. So people are more willing to export that idea and import external ideas from the rest of the world because everyone was comfortable. Everyone had everything they needed, so they're like, yeah, why not? And then now everyone's like, we're struggling to survive. We can barely get by ourselves, and you want us to send money to other fucking countries? Go fuck yourself. And that's why it's becoming a lot more conservative, simply because the quality of life for the average person has dropped so significantly. They're more worried about their own survival, which is completely fair. You should be worried about your own survival over someone else. You only get to worry about someone else when you no longer have to worry about yourself. And to me, it's crazy that that's considered like extremist right-wing rhetoric to some people. Like, are you fucking crazy? What? It's better to take care of yourself than someone else, because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of someone else. It's a fucking priority list. It's like, Queen, I'd like your opinion on this, actually. We were talking earlier about this, about like topics like specifically
Rush taking his third base finally. A little bit of
abortion, for instance, and like the view that, for me, like my stance on it is even up to the point of like your water breaking. If you don't want the kid, you should be allowed to get an abortion. And in the same factor of like, if there's a choice between saving the mother and saving the child, you should always save the mother, because the mother can make another child. Plus, the next child would actually have a mother, right? But that's me
I'm
thinking
sure
as a
there's
man.
spot
So
right
I'd
now
like your opinion
for
on that
some
as a
sort of
woman.
advantage. Like,
Because
Rush has
I know
really
there's a
extended
very
112
strong,
supply to be
like,
that
maternal
far out on the map right
connection
now.
that would cause a woman to
Like,
say,
he probably
no,
has a
save the
weak point. I think
child
it's
over
down
me.
closer to his natural.
And I could absolutely
But
see,
Barracks
like,
is
a
roaming
line
a
of
very,
reasoning
very
for
big army.
that. But I think at the end of the
I
day,
actually
the
wonder what
logical
they lay there
conclusion
with
is to
this
save the
disruption of
mother.
Science vessel. I could see a science vessel being excellent right now. When you're getting
But I'm sure there's definitely nuances, like, oh, there's a 10% chance the mother's gonna live, there's a 90% chance the baby's gonna live.
Yeah, D-Matrix is magical.
It all depends on the person in opinion. That's where I think it should be up to the person, right? And I don't think the government or an outside body should have any kind of say, like, over, like, specifically in the abortion cases, over like what a woman can or can't do.
Here he is in his army just working out in a bunch of different directions.
I think there could definitely be debates on the ethical or moral implications of it, but I think it's too complicated of a thing in order to like say one side or the other. So I think the lesser of both evils is just to let the mother straight up decide. But in the Bible, it does say that you should have your you should save yourself because he can always give you another child. I did not know that, Queen. I did not know that that was actually something that's kind of stated in the Bible.
But you know, he'll be able to clean this drop up pretty quickly at least.
Yeah, nice.
That's interesting.
Set of vultures in here.
So there is actually a religious, because I'm guessing, like, I don't know how it specifically states it, but I'm guessing the Bible is against abortion. At least that's what I was taught at a young age. Okay. That'd be interesting to find. Interpretation probably comes into play there as well, right?
Let's not forget that in the last game, Rush also.
It's like as far as I know, the original translation of like the whole gay thing, like a man can't sleep with a man, is actually like a man can't sleep with a boy, and it's actually talking about like underage people and like consent, and it's not actually talking about the Bible isn't against abortion if it saves you. Okay, that's what I was like. I was pretty sure of that, but I was pretty sure there was a lot of nuance to it, kind of like that, where it's like, you know, if you have to abort the baby in order to save the mother, like if there's like a breech problem, if there's, you know, a deformity with the child or something like that.
Yeah, he's a decent amount of those.
I'm sure there could be a lot of different reasons for it.
Spread a little bit thin. I mean, these vultures definitely getting more work done.
But I think that's what people's biggest problem is they think the answer is yes or no as far as like the legal option. It's like people are like, no, you should never be able to do it, or people are like, yes, you should always legally be able to do it. But there's like people don't discuss the nuance of it, of like, is it a medical situation? Like, is this medical intervention, or is this like psychological, or is this like financial, or is there some other aspect as to the reason why the mother wants to get the abortion, right? And I think that's a huge part of it that should go into it. So I don't think there should ever be an outright no. I think the best thing would be an outright yes, with like looking at nuance. Like, you're approved, but we're still gonna look at it. And if there's something wrong, there could be charges pressed, like, in the aftermath of it, of finding out that, like,
Barracks is up 50 supply. He's getting ready to try to push down here. This is the weak spot. You can see only 3 tanks.
I'm trying to think of a scenario where that would be like,
quickly, even though he has kind of a small army. Rush trying to bring some more tanks.
The only crazy thing I think is like, if like you spend, I still think it should be up to. I'm pro-choice. So yeah, I am too, Queen.
You know, I think
because again, I don't think I just don't think that it's something that you can you can dictate to someone.
Really strong drop in there, but
I think it when you're talking about like someone's body like that, it's something that you can only.
The supply difference is
it's something that really has to be looked at in retrospect, I think.
And probably just pounce on one of these locations. It could be the main. It could go
because you wind up with the case where people do like fucked up shit because they don't want the baby, And I think that's probably the thing the most that people should be concentrating on is the things that like teen mothers might do if they find out that they're pregnant and they can't get an abortion. And that is extremely dangerous.
Seems a bit strong.
And I think that's something that people just don't even. It's not even like talked about or brought up in the conversation like 90% of the time. Where the reason why we should have it is simply so these scenarios of like self-harm and stuff like that don't have to happen.
That position, that opportunity.
Because at the end of the day, we're all human. We all know kids are gonna fuck.
Growing too fast.
We were all kids once. We all fucking know what it's like to be 14. You know, like shit. As long as they're doing it, you know, with other relatively aged kids. That's something I don't have a problem with. It's like as long as they're under 18, right? Between like 14 and 18, and then like between like 17 and 18 is kind of iffy, and then 19 is like, you know what you're doing, unless it's like,
this is gonna be kind of gross,
you know, those fringe situations where you've been high school sweethearts that you're 2 years apart, so she's 17 and you're 19.
It's almost like,
and then it's like, well, now it's technically illegal, but it's like, well,
it's not going to kill your base.
That's where nuance comes in.
This like huge tempo advantage, where Rush is like, okay, now I.
But every time you try to talk about some people are like, you're you know.
Yeah, you
and
know,
like,
it's a lot of work to push into anything, and when you're...
So they'll be like, would you lose your virginity when I was 16? It's like, yeah, exactly.
That you need, then it really forces you to try to
you really have to think about it on the level of, like, reality and what actually happens, and not wishful thinking and what you want society to be. I think that's that's a huge part people take into consideration, is they only want the most wishful thinking great outcome, but 90% of the time you're gonna have to find a compromise in the middle that both people have to give something up in some way, and no one's truly gonna win, but it's better than both people completely losing. But humans are selfish people, and we like to watch other people fall, so that we would rather watch other people fall down with us than prop someone up and save them and sacrifice yourself, you know? At least, like, in my opinion, on average, right? It's like a 55-45 in my opinion, of people that are like,
we've got another drop coming in. He might just drop right on top of the tank.
Not, let's say, the selflessness, but that would, if they're going down, they want the world to burn with them. And I think there's more people that think like that than people that don't. But not by like a significant margin. I could be wrong, but I'm as a extremely high-tempered, emotional person, my first thought is burn the world with me.
I think we are very close to
Yup, misery loves company. Exactly. But then I have to take a step back and be like, no, you're being a fucking idiot, you know? And it's kind of like, I explore that idea in The Banquet. Okay, Barracks does win. Holy shit, Barracks gets out. That's insane.
How do you feel about
That's so crazy.
How are your predictions looking now?
My predictions are in shambles, Artosis. My predictions are literally shaking right now.
Yeah, I'm like, is Sulky gonna get eliminated? This is fucking so crazy.
This is so crazy. So we've got Rush, Effort, and Sulky fighting for that final spot, which means 2 of those 3 players are gonna get knocked out.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
that's insane. This literally could be the group of death.
Wow.
I'm trying to think about everyone else in all the other groups, and this seems like this actually turned into the group of death because of Barracks. I completely underestimated Barracks 100%.
Instead, it was going to be the underdog all along. Barracks.
But what I was going to say is I explore this in The Banquet with the idea of I would rather distract the chieftain and make him actually suffer the pain because I have to suffer it, then let him experience the use the Ixiom to clear his mind and move his mind away from his body and numb the pain for himself. And then it's like I take that step back and I go, man, I'm a piece of shit. Why do I want my creations to feel as much pain as I do? You know?
in any metric.
And then I
it's
tell
not
him to
like
go
you just
back
have
to using the Ixion, and he
just
passed the test.
love it and be
But it's kind of
obsessed
like
with
that
it,
thing,
but,
like passing my
for
mind,
people
right?
like,
So it's something
you
that
know,
I always think
rising
about
up
in the back of my
ASL
head.
Season 4 or 5.
Portraying that idea
In
of
20
my
and
first thought is to
how
burn the
much
world with
championship
me, and then I
eventually.
take a
But
step back
now
and
we
say,
have
no,
Barrett's
you're an
rising up.
idiot,
It's like,
stop
well,
thinking
yeah,
like
man,
that,
like,
reorient
this
your
is gonna be
perspective.
one of these guys
And I wish
that,
more
like,
people could
I
do
really
that, because I
think that it's
absolutely
just like,
understand the
yeah,
emotional
it's
reaction and
you
just
know?
immediately
Whereas the other
going
guys
with
that
it.
were
But
around
you
it, it's
have
like,
to
how
be
come you
able
didn't
to be
even make it in this
logical
season?
and see
You know?
that for
How
what
much
it
older
is, which
player-
is an emotional reaction.
You're so right that we just
And
have
you
a
should
new generation
never
of players. We still have
react
some of the old
solely
generation.
on that
We
emotional
still have
reaction.
Abisu or an effort who are competing here. who
But
are
it is a very
sometimes
powerful
super
thing,
viable.
and
Even for me, getting used to how good
instinctually,
Soma
that's the
was,
reason why we have
or
it, because it's
Hero
what's
or
kept
some of
us
these guys.
alive
Like,
as a
I mean, I know they were all
species.
around before, but these were not the same people.
Trying to,
Um,
you know,
and we've seen how much
eliminate
improved,
stuff
and
that's
Barracks,
been
we're continuing to have more and more
been
good
in
players
the
come up.
human
I
genome
think
for,
we're
let's
gonna
say,
jump over to the interview,
couple
see how
hundred
Barrett feels
thousand
about this
years
big win.
in less than 200 years. Gotta be able to take a
You're
step back and
watching
look at
Group A
everything.
of the
Yeah.
round of 16 of ASL Season 20. This is the beginning of the round of 16 as we have our very first player through to the quarterfinals. It's Barracks. Congratulations. Thank you.
Queen!
You advanced in first place today and you're back in the quarterfinals after 2 seasons
You
with
see
your
my
last time
outfit?
being
Oh, yeah,
season
check this
18.
out, Queen.
How are you feeling?
So this is what Callie's gonna get. So he's got
For starters, this
The
was a really
arms?
tough group. I wasn't feeling that confident,
the collar,
but actually getting as much practice as I did, my hands were working
the
well.
helmet,
Hard work pays off, it seems. I think that's it.
for his streaming,
Right.
and the gloves.
Despite you expecting this to be difficult, you are the very first player through.
Getting a
From
dog.
start to finish, you played an aggressive Terran style. What did you focus on in
Kidding,
particular
I'm the
when
dog.
preparing for today?
Just to dress up on stream to have fun, you know?
In any
Be a
case,
little bit
this
of a
is
thing.
tournament,
So Callie can
and
be
the
all
way things
badass
are,
on
you gotta be
stream.
ready to play
I can't wait for
impromptu.
it.
I practiced a lot, and I figured out how
So he can
to
be
think
as
on the fly.
entertaining as possible. I said he's gonna be like in Spaceballs. He's gonna be like Dark Helmet.
I had to adapt today because the situations
Because,
were different from what I practiced.
He's gonna be like Darth Vader with this
I
very
see you
like
keep
feminine
underlying the
type
importance
voice,
of preparation.
right? He's gonna be like,
In the first game against Salty, you executed a brilliant timing attack, striking him at his weakest.
"Hi guys, how's it
Could you talk
going?
about that, please?
Yeah, I know it's
I
one of
had a
those
number of
days,
builds
right?"
prepared. As I kept playing versus Zerg yesterday,
It's pretty much
BTS
how I
also
imagine it.
recommended me a build, and then Palm took a look into the fine details of it. It was one of those details that let me win. I gotta thank him for that. Words of thanks coming out too, I see.
So it was
In
Calm
sets
who
2
gave
and
him the
3
idea,
of
not
the winners
Flash.
match, you opted for Siege upgrade first.
Guys,
Do you
my
think that's good?
story got
Is there a reason behind
described
doing that?
as Wicked plus
The thing I had
Encanto.
prepared was entirely
What's
different,
Encanto?
but I improvised.
My voice isn't
and
high
decided
pitched
to
if
be
I make it all
aggressive.
deep and sultry.
I felt it would work.
I agree,
managed to
Callie.
pull him into
There
fights
is a
few
way that
times.
we could definitely do
With a
that.
bit
We
of
should
luck,
do
it
like
just
an
ended
entire
working.
podcast day
Both
where we
times
just
it
use
worked,
our
despite
deep
being an impromptu
voices
decision.
and say, this
You've
is how we
already thrown out
actually
mentions,
sound,
but I'm sure a
but
lot of
sometimes
them
we
helped
like
you
to come
practice.
off as a little bit
Please address
less
them as well as the
manly.
fans who lent you
But
their support.
at the end of the day, it is what it is,
First and
and you
foremost, to help you
cannot go back
practice
on what your
solo,
voice truly is.
Hero, BTS, Calm, and TY, and Mind.
Callie, send us a clip of you doing your
I
best
genuinely
manly
practiced a lot,
voice.
so big thanks to them. I'm also very thankful to the fans who showed up like this,
Encanto is a Disney movie.
and my friends from the University League for coming down to the studio. And our team members
Oh.
for sending me messages of support.
I've
by
seen
Council.
like clips of this shit.
They all came together
Yeah.
to come up with builds.
Good
for
old
me
Disney within the
when
last
they went
20
down to
years.
the swimming pool together. So big thanks to our Starcraft University team.
Let's be diverse
Thank you.
by stereotyping.
This is the.
I feel
power
like
of
that's
support.
Disney nowadays.
That does it for our
It's
interview
like
with
the
Barrett,
old
first
school-
player through to the round of 8. Once more, congratulations
Like-
on making the quarterfinals.
like
you.
anti-Semitic shit has now just turned into this like everything
Let's now
kind of
take a
thing.
look at the
Where it's like now we
events
just
we
do
have prepared for
stereotypes.
you.
We used to do
We
stereotypes.
have a prediction
Now we
event
do
for our online
stereotypes.
viewers. We will host a raffle amongst those who correctly predict the first and second place finishes of today's
No
group,
one would.
with
I
four
don't.
ASL travel
Dude, I don't know how you would have predicted Barracks. That had to have been like someone just won a fuckload of money.
Please go ahead and participate.
Because of Barracks coming out
And
first.
for those attending
Because those
live,
odds would be like fucking 10 to
our
1.
commentators will select 5 of the best cheerfuls. You can win a Razorback
Cheerfuls
V3 Pro
are
white
the
mouse.
posters that they hold up.
Please show your support
and
and you
shake.
might win a prize. All we have left now are the losers and decider matches. Who will stay alive after
Yep, the
today's
loser
games?
match, and
We
whoever
will
wins the
take a
loser
short
match
break
goes
and
on to the
return with
final
today's
match, and then
second
whoever wins the
place
final
finisher.
match goes on. Dude, if Sulky gets kicked out, this is fucking insane. This is the craziest up. This is like Flash getting kicked out of the round of 24. Like, it's insane, and it's a ZVZ, so it's probably gonna be
ZVZ,
super fast.
buddy. It's time to go into.
I'm
our
scared for
ZVZ.
Sulky, man. I don't want him
This
to be
upcoming
dethroned
match
like this.
Could get crazy. It is
Effort
very
versus
possible
Sulky is supposed to
that
be the
Sulky will win
finals.
here. It is very possible.
But I'm glad we get to see it in this.
Yeah,
At least a best of 3 and not a best of
basically
1.
Coin flip. You know, obviously Sulky's in great shape, but Zerg vs Zerg can go any which way. It's always
Zerg vs.
been a
Zerg is so
problem for top Zerg
volatile.
players trying to weather
One
the
minor
storm,
tiny
the volatility
thing, and you're
of
fucked.
Zerg vs Zerg. Effort, like, I feel like this is a matchup where you can kind of tell. In
Posted.
general, if your strength is like
'Kay.
playing Zerg vs Terran,
Are we ready? I don't know if this is gonna be super loud.
Hi, this is my really high-pitched voice. Hi, this is my my regular voice. I don't know. And wait, I gotta. Okay, so this is the deeper voice that I don't know. And the sultry voice. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't have a sultry voice. It's the voice I use when I'm trying to seduce you all. But of course, I keep that a secret. I keep that a secret from most of you. I don't reveal the tips and tricks of how to do this voice. You know, I'm a little less creative right now because I actually have a sleep schedule now, so I'm not like all loopy. So yeah, I'm a little less creative, I feel. I'm more like normal now. So I love you all. I love you all. You're amazing. Yeah. That's what I said, but I probably just peaked there. Cock and balls. Cock and balls and cock and balls and cock and balls. And cock and balls and cock and balls and cock and balls.
Okay, that was boo normal Callie. What about your super deep voice, Callie? You gotta talk in your super deep voice.
or your strength is playing Zerg versus Protoss, I've always felt like there's correlation with how good your ZVZ will be. Sulky, I
want
at
Loopy Callie.
specifically, he's god tier against Terran. Obviously,
Of course.
in fact, his ZVZ will be a little bit higher. So, but like, he's not the
Boo
super
subu duo
aggressive
hoo to
psycho
roof boo
micro
boo
Zerg
to
that
der
Effort
warp.
is. So I feel like that gives Effort like a small edge in the ZVZ, if that makes sense. That ramble I just had.
No, it was good. I think that when you look at Sulky, his control's obviously really, really good. It's world class, but you know, someone like Jadong or Effort were known at the time for basically having impeccable micro.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, one of the things about ZVZ Muta versus Muta is once you start to win a fight, it basically
Yeah, it
doesn't end until someone
snowballs
dies.
and they can't run
Because
away,
you
and
have
if
the
you
moving
lose
shot
the
is
first
Leskers
Muta,
come in there and they have to
oh man,
dodge,
you are
there's a
so
misclick.
fucked. It snowballs so fast.
So I think Sulky's a great planner, but he's the kind of guy that needs, I think,
Oh, my super deep voice. So you want me to go like my super deep voice when I'm being all loud and boisterous and just wait, you guys don't want me to be healthy? Excuse me? Well, I'm being healthy right now. I'm taking care of myself. So, like, if you guys can't accept me when I'm healthy, I guess I'm just going to have to be unhealthy, okay? I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to drink alcohol, do tobacco, smoke everything, just smoke absolutely every drug under the sun, and be the most unhealthy person ever, just so my friends can be entertained. I can't believe you guys. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Just to entertain the world. I'm gonna ruin myself. Yeah, just like Robin. No, I'm not. You know what? You guys, I'm sick of you guys. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, bye.
That was better, Callie. That was better.
More tools at his disposal to really be the punishing, exploitative player that he is. Where I think Effort plays a really good ZVZ with very narrow margins. He's also extremely good at planning in these ZVZs. He's put a lot of... I mean, we've seen some crazy stuff from Sulky, but I do feel like Effort has really kind of come in here with some pretty genius ideas.
No, Queen's not playing
This would be a
today,
really
Callie.
interesting one, but, if
Queen's
there was a way for
in
Sulky's soon-to-be 5
Group
seasons
C,
straight to be
I
broken,
think.
this is probably
pretty
the
sure Queen's
matchup
in
and
Group
the
C.
player
Yes.
that it would happen with.
100%. 100%.
Could you imagine, like,
Let's not
Effort
forget, though,
versus
Sulky
Queen? I know I'm fucking with you,
strategically
Callie.
planning-wise is God tier. Set 2 is on Litmus. I think that's
It's
a
just
map
funny that
might
one of the
favor
players
Sulky
in
a
the
little
tournament
bit,
is called
because
Queen
he's
as
gonna have a
well.
lot of flexibility of strategy choices there. I don't know how this is going to look.
Named
But,
after
this
not
is-
the
this is
Queen
way that I
as
saw
in the
Sulky
unit
going
from
out.
Starcraft, but
You
Queen
know,
the
Dream
band
tastes
and Freddie
like Through the
Mercury.
Bones, and it
Just
said
sleep
that
now,
Pepper
my
would
body
beat
is
him in
failing
loser
me.
match.
Okay, Callie.
Artosis
You can
woke
go
up
to
from his
sleep now,
ayahuasca
bro.
trip and went, oh my
I
God,
believe.
it could be
It's all good,
ZVZ is
man.
How Sulky loses.
Yes,
Do what you
yes.
gotta do. Have a good night, Callie. Sweet dreams, good sir. May you be ever rested.
Okay, Sulky in the bottom right, Effort in the top left. This is a 4-spawn map. It's very important in ZVZ because you don't have that many workers in this. So a lot of times you're scouting with just overlords alone, which means there is a lot of ambiguity about what is going to be made or can be made. Versus, let's say that you both, it's just a 2-player spawn map. Well, then there's a lot more of other games that can be applied here that can be very tricky.
That is a funny thing that we're more likely to get a crazy strategic game on a 2-player map. Because normally that's the opposite in other matchups, because like you know where your opponent is, so you can just time your scout how you want it. Whereas it's like, well, we only scout with overlords here because it's too valuable. Anything else?
Damn, look at all those wins.
But yeah, you know,
Guys, I think this proves I'd make a good superhero.
I'm trying to.
What proves you'd be a
Well,
good
hold on. We
superhero,
actually have-
Callie?
This is a 9 pool from.
I'm not sure what you're talking
so
about.
He is going for the very quick pool, but they're cross spawn, so it might be a little bit difficult to make this work even against hatchery first. Like Sulky will have some chances, I would say, to block
Like,
this.
what aspect of you would be good
He's
for a
an
superhero?
extractor. We're going to see if he cancels it.
I
He
mean,
does
other
go
than
for
the fact that
cancel.
you're super kind,
Oh, Sulky actually
you're
just
adorable,
goes for like
you're likable.
pool, like what is this? A 10 pool on after.
It's like
You
after
know,
the
you have a good
overlord.
conscience.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
He
So
made 2 more drones and a third and throws the pool down, which this is better versus
Because
what
most of the
Effort's
world is
doing
like,
in
oh, I
this
feel
effort.
terrible, so I'm gonna
He's
be
doing the
terrible.
same thing we
But
got earlier, which
I
means he
use
has
the
less
fact that I feel terrible as a way to entertain the world.
that's so that is like an advantage to Sulky. Now,
Ah,
obviously, there's, like,
I see,
you know,
Callie.
There's a
So you're
certain
turning
amount
it
of
back
skill trying to
around
mind
on
game your
itself.
opponent, but there's luck as well. You know, you don't know what they're going to do. As no matter how hard you think you might know, at the end of the day, it's just like a guess as to what your opponent will open up with. So Sulky has an advantage with this build. It doesn't mean that the game is over or anything like that. And this is a very tricky move from Effort. Look at this planning, Tasteless.
Dude, I almost brought this up.
So I
and
think
feel like I had a
I'm
couple
like
times where I mentioned
incorruptible or
this idea,
something.
and it
Oh,
never
okay,
happened,
there
so
you
I
go,
thought I'd
Callie. I
cancel
love
this
it.
because are going to sound insane.
I
but
love it.
I have
So you'd
seen
make a
effort
great
fight betas.
Superman because you would never cross that line.
And, you know, they're in cross spawns. They still don't know what builds each other are doing.
Whereas if I was
You're gonna see
Superman, I
Lings
know
out
exactly
early,
who I
right?
would,
Without
I
knowing,
mean,
okay,
what?
is Link speed being upgraded? Is it a fast layer? But in reality,
No, I'd be
it's gonna be a
Batman.
quiet hidden hatchery
Okay,
here.
Callie.
In the center left, it's not so far out that it can be, it will necessarily be scouted accidentally. At the same time, it's close enough. It could be defended somewhat easily.
I think
But,
it's,
you know, this is
Because he never
it's out
crosses
of
the
Overlord
line.
trajectory range, excuse me, at least for now. Although we do see that Sulky's setting his
Unlike
Overlord
Superman.
that you know, pathed through the bottom left. It's now headed northbound. So maybe that Overlord goes over that. Let's see.
That's really interesting because I thought that this would be
Batman
a very
finds a way.
place to scout, but he might catch the edge of the creep with the Overlord. And if he does, that's going to ruin a lot of Effort's strategy here.
And this might
Good
be
night,
set up
Tom.
because he knows that the way the Overlords scout, they're more likely to just barely get the image of
Good night,
creep and go
Callie.
somewhere else. But now
Sweet
this
dreams,
creep
buddy.
is going to be, yeah, he should see it. Does he notice it though? That we got to see.
Oh, he sees the
Does he
creep.
actually see
Yeah,
that blip
he
on
saw
the
it.
minimap? Yeah, he does.
He saw it.
Turning that
Instantly
away from him,
moved.
He saw it, but he doesn't want Effort to know that he saw it. Overlord's
Good
have better than well, obviously Creep doesn't have vision because we're playing StarCraft 1, not StarCraft 2. And, you know, that's going to allow Sulky probably to just smash Effort here.
Ooh, this is gonna be bad.
Oh, that's funny. He was
Kinda
trying to
crazy that
dodge
this
this
was just
Overlord.
spotted.
He's trying to dodge it, but he got spotted anyways.
Yeah, I think he's just going to run in with Lings and kill the hatch, and it's going to be a huge advantage.
So he's going to first run up the ramp over here, maybe try to force Lings up here.
Is this the right
But he
play?
knows that this other hatchery is very, very exposed.
Tasus, did he not see it? Because he turned the Overlord at such a time that you would assume that he saw it, right?
Yeah.
Because he turned it like
I mean,
exactly
I-
when he
Yeah,
saw it.
exactly when he
But
saw
I
the
think
creep.
he was
But
just
he's not
retreating
there.
from mutas because there's no reason why you would not attack that right
Yeah.
now. He didn't see it.
Yeah,
Even though it technically showed up.
I thought he was going to wall in the ramp and then go there. But like now the drones are mining, now he's going to have a second gas. So I think he actually didn't see the creep. This
That
is the
sucks.
four-time world champion. Actually had a unit see it, but didn't catch the purple with his
He
own
did not
eyes.
catch it.
And by the way, this isn't that common. You know, hidden bases are still pretty rare.
Yeah.
He's going to send that Ling in. And, you know, honestly, guys, Sulky is behaving as if he thinks this is one base.
Yeah.
He is.
Despite it being two.
You're right. He's like making his
Yeah.
spores and everything. So like he's not going to die, not right away. But Effort absolutely will have an advantage. Oh wow, Effort, what are you doing? This is surprising to me. This doesn't feel like the right move from Effort at all.
Why is he doing this?
I have no idea why he's doing that. That doesn't make sense to attack in there. I think that's a poor move. Maybe he thought there would be like slightly less slings and he'd be able to just barely break it or something. But yeah, he's going to have 2 gas up really quickly. He hasn't spent money on static D, which is both good and bad because it doesn't cost you drones if you don't buy it. But at the same time,
Right.
like your opponent has more counterattack potential because you don't have that static D. So that's working for Sulky here.
Okay, so the mutas are going to be able to clear some of these Lings. The Lings are going to be heading back. Kind of surprised to see Effort throw those Zerglings in there. Those Zerglings are really important. Even if you're teching into mutas, it doesn't mean that the Zerglings don't have utility. We've got Scourge now chasing these mutas.
I wonder for Effort here,
Yeah.
does Effort just take a 3rd hatchery? I feel like that's the right play, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because he's playing against Spore, and he's going to, you know, Sulky will have 2 gases. He'll have the Mutalisk lead, but it's like, because he has the Mutalisk lead, he doesn't have to worry about losing a base. So maybe just take the 3rd gas and win off that.
Yeah, my guess would be get the armor upgrade and take the 3rd base. And I don't think there's a whole lot you have to do. You know, it's funny, when one player goes Spores then into mutas, you got to remember that those Spores, they stay there the whole game. Spores are the best anti-air building in the game. Like, they're very,
By
very hard to
miles.
kill. They're insane. Like, when I see stuff like that, I'm like, well, I can never attack that with anything air to ground. Like, I just have to, you know, the whole base is off limits if there's one spore over there. It does not compare to a cannon or a turret, or a cannon combined with a turret. Like, its spore is just better. So, you know, that does mean that one guy can defend and counterattack. The other guy, a lot of times, has to know that he can put the pressure on, but once that's off, he has to defend, or there's a risk that when he leaves his base, someone like Sulky comes in and kills every single drone, because there is no spores.
I think Sulky here is learning that there's more mutas than he expects.
Yeah, he's like, why does he? How the fuck does he have so many
he's
mutas?
Like, his brain is telling him that he's supposed to have more now, and he just does not.
Yeah, he's got to be so confused about this right now. We're seeing the mutas come in there, even attacking the spore. Something the casters all warned about never doing, but here we are. But you're right, he's got such a muta lead. I think that Sulky is completely perplexed by what's happening. The Lings are going to counterattack here. There are Lings over here at the ramp, so they should be able to plug this up. It's quite a bit of Lings, though, from Sulky trying to get in here.
He's going to try to dive here once again, and Sulky was ready with a lot of Scourge. Oh, that was weird Scourge micro, though. It felt like that didn't quite go how he wanted it. And Effort, well, this Ling counterattack is strong, but I think Effort's got enough to just take this.
This is crazy.
They're both going to kill each
the
other's spires?
The Spire.
Oh, crazy.
This game, oh my god,
But I think
Zerg
Effort
is so
has
crazy.
more of everything.
Yeah.
So he needs to snipe the Scourge down here now. So Sulky's sending his mutas across the map. There's only one spore? No, there's two spores here, right? Yeah. He's going to send the...
Yeah. He's going to be kicking himself, man. Like, the fact
all he
that
needed was to
his
fucking
overlord
have
did
base
see it
defense.
and, like, saw the creep and he didn't recognize. I thought for sure when he turned it, I'm like, oh, he's hiding that he knows. So he
Yeah,
can attack it.
same.
And then he even ran his
I thought
Lings
the same
around that
thing.
side. It was like... But, yeah, I think he just missed it, and, you know, he was just kind of randomizing where he's running his Lings and stuff like that. He was just, like, retreating so he wouldn't lose that to, you know, mutas when they came out or anything like that.
He's looking at every
So how
other
many
spot.
drones are
Okay,
left
now
in
he's
the
gonna find
expansion
it.
for Sulky? So he's going to come in here now.
Yeah, look
Now,
at his head.
I'm
He's like,
looking at his face. Okay,
fuck.
so that looks to, by his reaction, like that's the first time he was aware of this base.
He's like,
Well, at least
And
now
so
he
now-
knows, yeah.
Now what was a very confusing game is finally becoming very
He's
obvious.
just like, yeah,
and he's
fuck
gonna
it,
tap
GG.
out.
Yeah.
he thought he was
Whoa.
more ahead than he was.
Good first win there.
Sulky is down 0-1 versus Effort.
He needs to win
This
the next
could be
two
where his
games or he's
streak
out of the
ends.
ASL. And his
could end up
4-win
with a
streak is
brand new
over.
ASL
No number
champion
5,
this
which
season.
means he doesn't
That
unseat
was
Flash,
because
because
of
Flash
Effort.
also
Yeah.
tied for
Yeah.
4.
Because of Barracks too, man. It's a 1-2. But yeah, Effort, like that was a really good strategy. It worked out really well for him. It could have gone south if
I
Sulky
want
had
Sulky to
recognized
win
the
though,
wins that
but
game
it's such a
100%.
cool story that I knew this
and
would be
his
the
overall,
final
he
game, and
did
it's in the
see it
round
for a
of
moment.
16,
He
and
just
Effort
didn't
still kicks
recognize what
Sulky
was
out.
going on. But we're going into Litmus. And if Sulky
And if
has
he
a
2-0s him?
strategy ready, it's for Litmus. Having that second gas in your main base
Because
really adds
there's
something
no
more.
way Sulky's
Do
gonna
you
lose
expand
to
and
Rush.
Make yourself 3 gas? Do you make a hatchery first in your
So he
main base?
just
Do you
has
don't
to
you
beat
just spread
Effort.
Your economy.
And
Do
and
you just
he's
go
good.
One hatch muta to try to catch someone playing greedy. I'm not sure how they're going to play this one.
What's gonna be so funny is it's gonna be Artosis' thing where he says,
Yeah, I'm not
"Oh,
sure either here.
there's no way Sulky is gonna lose
this
another
is
TVT or
one of
ZVT in
these-
this tournament." And it's because
Gosh, what
Sulky
a
doesn't
weird
play
set
another
of games
CVT
for Sulky,
because
right?
he's
Blindsided
gone.
by
He
the
gets
Valkyrie
kicked out
Rush.
by Effort,
Missing the hit
and then
base.
Effort either loses to
He's just
Rush or
not getting
beats
to play the
Rush.
game
But
that he
it's like,
thinks he's
oh my
playing. He
god.
thought he was versus a one
There's
base
no
player.
more
Effort just
ZVT
did that extra
for
base.
Sulky because he's not in the tournament
yeah, I
anymore.
mean, crazy
What a
stuff
way
here.
for your prediction to come
We're
true.
ready now, guys, to go on to Litmus. This is game 2 with Effort versus Sulky.
I'm scared. But that's good, because that means that, like, you know, I was going to this like, oh, I know Sulky's getting out. Who else is getting out? And like Barracks is dead 100%. So it's like between Rush and Effort. So it's like maybe Effort and Sulky get out. Boom, Barracks gets out first, and now Sulky's gonna get eliminated. Literally, the person who I thought eliminated
Sulky
wins, and the
on
person
the
who I thought
bottom,
wins
and
gets
Effort
eliminated.
on
What a
the
reverse
top.
world we live in.
So this is a map where you know each other's spawns.
But that's
which does
the
allow
name
for
of the
some
game, man. Sometimes
ling,
it's just fucking upsets happen.
run-bys. I guess
That's the
they
greatest
run
part
around
about the game
Overlord,
too, is the
you end
fact
up
that
with
upsets do
a
happen.
false sense of security and thinking you'd see the lings coming at you. Don't know if it's going to happen here, but let's see.
And because you know that both of you are on the right side of the map,
Yeah, there's a different
bases
kind
on
of
the left are
mentality
so
towards
far
it on
away,
these kinds of
nothing
maps.
will probably ever visit them, which can make hidden bases a real threat here. Just because it's so, it's like, do you really want to spend a ling scouting over there? You know, probably not, but that's got to be something that's going to be in the mind of both of these players as well.
That random hidden hatch, that's what it's all
Yeah,
about.
it's a good point, Artosis. Like, I can't imagine we'd have a
I
second
love the
hidden
memes.
base
Taping the fucking
in
memes
a
to the
ZVZ,
freaking
but like,
posters.
you
So
never know,
great.
dude. I mean, it worked the first time. Effort had a very, very smooth game, to where basically it wasn't until he probably Sulky saw his Spore getting attacked, where he's like, "What? Okay, how many mutas does this guy have? This doesn't make any sense."
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what the actual openers will be because of the double gas. I find it so interesting. Because it's like, you can basically do it like you have an expand. Okay, so Sulky's build, like, if you ask me, you're like, Artosis, make the ultimate strategy on this map. I'd be like, well, hatch first in the main base, because then your 9 pool doesn't bother you at all when you do this, but you already have 2 gases. And you only have 1 defensive point, basically, which is your main. So it feels like this is a really good call from Sulky. Would you agree?
I think it's. I get some of your ideas. I feel like we didn't see the second gas taken too quickly on this map. Although
They're both doing
it.
it.
Artosis, I had basically the same reaction that you did. Is in my head, I think, okay, gas is so important. I would be getting my second gas soon. I don't have the fine-tuned math on this, but yeah, I would just power up on one base, get mutas, and then if I have to take a third, I do. But let's see if either or both players take that second gas quickly here.
Well, it's going to be about probably 15-second faster layer here for Effort, but faster hatchery for Sulky. So Sulky's going to get, maybe a couple more larvae, so he's going to have more drones or more zerglings to work with here. Yeah, I would, again, say that I think that Sulky has a slightly better opener. I feel like 15 seconds slower Spire is not that big a deal. I think, and 2 additional larvae, I would trade for that, Not that I'm a Zerg player, but having either the additional lings or a couple more drones, so maybe you can get your second gas quicker, sounds to me like a better deal.
Mm-hmm. Definitely want the second hatchery.
We've got that layer coming along here.
It's so important
Still waiting
to have
see
so
if
many
we're gonna get the second
hatcheries.
gas too
That's
soon.
all your production. Zerg is such an interesting
this is gonna be,
mechanical
I think, a more
play.
even
I'm so
playing
close my
field.
door
They
now
both
that it's
have their
not.
overlords over each other's bases, so they could see exactly what each other are up to. So the Spire starts. It's going to be square in the middle between the 2 hatches and the extractor. And I guess the hatchery is always made up there because it can mine vertically, correct? With the hatchery, like, is there a better spot to have a hatch to mine gas from?
I think that's like just a defensive setup where,
Okay.
like, I think that's it, because I don't think it makes better mining when the gas is below the hatchery that it returns to. You need 4 workers for optimal. That's why almost every gas is on top of the hatchery Nexus command center, because that's always 3 workers for optimal mining. And
I see.
to the left is better than to the right, and that's why the gas is here on the left. Left is better than right. Bottom is worse. So I think these drones will actually auto-return to the right hatchery. Pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, so those are like the optimal places. So it's not really about that. I think it's just like the defensive positioning.
Yeah,
Whereas
of
if
having
you
the
put, like,
hatcheries
lower
like in the
hatcheries
back,
closer
because
to
they're
your
both like
space.
at the bottoms or top, like the bottom and the top of the map.
Okay. We've got these lings hitting up here. And it seems
The
like
struggle
Effort
is
has
real, but
not quite enough unless he has a few more lings hatch over
yeah,
here.
this is.
The
He's
trades
got
are looking pretty
5.
brutal. There's a sunk that's about to finish. There's that second gas. Kind of a funny way that these drones are going to mine. He's going to go for the drill. Now, there are 2 gases to drone drill from.
Ooh, he lost
Oh,
the
that was
drone.
a great drill there by Everett.
That was. He loses
Much
2
better than Heroes
drones.
drilling.
well,
He's gonna.
I think he lost
he's
2
gonna clear-
drones.
Yeah, that was painful. And so he holds. The Lings maybe should not have dove in there. I don't know how many drones were killed exactly.
Think
And
2.
now we're in this arms race. We saw Scourge hatching on one side, Mutas on the other. And you can see the Overlords are following the retreating Overlords because he wants to get kills on this.
Mm-hmm.
If he can take this out before the Scourge get here, it's going to be huge. This number of Mutas can one-shot a Scourge as well here, so we got to watch the
Oh,
control there carefully.
nice. Yeah, he decided not to
3
do
times
it.
9 is 18, so...
Wait, did you say
just
3
watch out for
times
that.
9 is 18?
I got made fun of so much for that, Tasteless, you have no idea.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming, too. It was just a whole day on my stream of that.
3 times 9 equals
God,
18.
Swimmer, you really are stupid. I'm like, I know.
I'm retarded.
But yeah, here come a lot
Hey,
of
like I said, you say it
So,
10,000
did
words in a day. Sorry, got
can't
distracted.
tell.
Kai got
No, it
shot
looks
by
like
a
it did it.
paintball gun.
Okay, now
Oh,
a couple of them,
nice. That sounds epic. Like just
Okay, so here's
randomly,
the
like someone
trail.
walked into the room,
Oh
or
my
were they
God, he's
like
actually
doing an
killed a
event
lot
with
of
that?
Really good micro from Sulky overall. He did take a couple hits. Effort
Oh,
turns to
oh,
fight.
the Scourge! Oh, and he's got the
Very, very
backup
close.
Scourge there.
Another
Oh
Scourge
my
hits one of
god.
Effort's mutas.
One hits.
I heard another Scourge hit
Yeah,
there. There
and
was
another hit.
Scourge hit.
Yeah,
Man.
it's 1 Muta right now. We need some more to hatch here. Effort's putting
So
a lot
crazy.
of pressure on. I think when you're down like this, by the way, in Mutas, you're okay with a Scourge. One of your Scourge tanking for their Scourge, basically. Now Sulky's being looped back up. He has to buy time. He can dodge these. It's very hard. Depends on how much effort.
Oh!
He loses one.
They were
That-
just in the
Again,
room, and
without that
Agent
number
talked him
3
into
Muta,
letting him
you
shoot him
can't
with
target
it.
these down. You just have to keep running until you
I
run out of
remember
gas.
back in the
So
day,
he does a good job there. He needs to get a good angle. He
one
does.
of the
Taking
times
down
I've
his own
gone
Scourge.
paintballing, I
Effort,
remember.
excellent there
There's
as
just
well.
like these
He
bunch of
saw that
Asian
Sulky was about to
guys
snipe
in,
and kill Sulky's Scourge with his Scourge.
like, tactical
so that was,
gear.
Like, superb,
Yeah.
But
like,
they would
ultimate
freeze
value
the
for Effort.
paintballs,
Oh, good
Very
catch. I
good.
didn't even notice
Very
that.
good micro.
and they got
Excellent
kicked out
micro.
and like
I
banned.
got chills from that move, man. That was awesome. Now they're at
But you want to hear the
exact
most
same supply.
fucked up?
What a
Yeah, you can't do
close
that.
game
Yeah,
this is right
it was
now.
it was fucked up.
This is more mutas
Um,
for Effort, isn't it?
You want to hear the most
Well, it's 5 for
fucked
Sulky.
up
No,
paintball
actually, no,
story?
for Sulky, I think just slightly, but
Guy I
yeah,
knew
he's
in
hitting
high
some Scourge.
school.
Yeah, 2 left for Sulky.
When he was 11, he went
Oh,
paintballing.
my God. Champion, anyone?
And he was sitting in
New
a
champion
tree,
this season?
It's just Scourge out now.
and he got shot in
He's
the
gotta pull back. I don't
balls,
think it's over yet.
fell out
He's
of the
Scourge,
tree.
Scourge. 2 lings come in,
Yeah.
but he's got
And-
the power. 2 lings.
He described that
I mean,
his
this is
kneecap
crazy
looked
that
like
Sulky
if you
might
took
be
a hot
limited
dog
here.
and
In fact,
smashed
we see
it with a fucking hammer.
Evo Chamber coming down here. He wants to get a spore because he needs
Like
to
it was like his
stabilize
knee
here. He
wasn't
needs
attached to his fucking leg
to
anymore.
fly over
Yeah.
that can protect him.
Yeah, he had like
Now-
37 like bars in his
He's
fucking
doing it
leg.
again.
He was literally
Good job with the
consistently
Scourge.
on like Vicodin and shit for like
He even
pain
took
relief.
a swipe at the ling as he went by with the Muta. Oh, and
But it
he,
was like,
he eats another hit
fuck,
there.
man, I could not
He's gotta get
imagine.
some connections,
Yeah.
and he does.
You
Oh my
fuck
God,
up your
great
life
news
at
here.
11 by getting shot in the
Dude,
balls in fucking
This
paintball,
is the
man.
most insane ZVZ we've had
Fucking
in a long time.
sucks.
Can Soul
Life
get
is
a
cruel.
Wild. I didn't see.
Funny
you have to
cruel.
imagine. He's, you know.
Why did he
Oh my God.
stop?
Still 3. No
This is how
upgrades
crazy
yet.
ZVZ is. It's so on the edge,
He's
like,
on,
oh
he'll
my
get that next look on
god.
efforts, but
Yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, he doesn't.
yeah,
have
yeah.
any.
Neither side went for upgrades. I guess the idea is you just want to power out as many mutas as possible, unless we have upgrades that are about to finish.
You'd really have to grow.
Because
account to make
it's
those
such a
upgrades
war of
work against
attrition.
the
You have to
Scourge.
make sure you have like 1 or 2 more
I'm
units than the other
surprised,
person.
Like Sulky's really going for broke. Like this is real championship mentality. I think most players would have made the Spore because he's already got the Evo. Things have gone wrong. Spore makes you feel comfortable, but he's like, no, I'm going to stabilize without it.
And it's still a
It's like,
one
yeah,
base,
see
but this
much
is what
extra
this is
drone.
why this
Yeah,
map is so
exactly.
interesting because the
That
2
drone
gases
is
makes it so you don't
moment.
necessarily
Yep.
need
Had
2
the Evo chamber,
bases.
and then he said, no, I think I actually can stabilize here without this. We're just going to leave this thing here. maybe I'll get a spore later. We'll see.
Yeah.
34 to 34 supply.
Oh my god.
And if Effort wins, he moves on.
Effort, I believe, is up in mutas. He has 8 right now.
And Effort versus Rush,
Okay.
I'm not 100%
yeah,
on.
he did that to get another
Rush
muta.
might be able to beat
Made
Effort.
a building and canceled it out.
Yeah, makes sense. He needs to squeeze out anything he can get.
I want to see the muta count of Sulky because I feel like Sulky is pretty far down in mutas. It's 9 mutas right now for Effort.
6.
Yeah, down 3 mutas. He has a
Ooh.
lot of Scourge though. And if you hit mutas with Scourge, the Scourge
evens
have
out
better value
so
than
much
mutas, but
faster.
The mutas have potential to not be hit. They have potential to
that's
kill
true.
the Scourge. So it's like, yeah, you know, the better micro player very oftentimes wins because of that. But the Scourge can actually provide that.
Oh, is
insane
he
value.
finally
One
building the spore?
Scourge brings a muta to 10 health.
Yeah, the best strategy is one
So
one
he is gonna
Scourge
get
per
that
muta,
spore.
and then have your mutas flick shot, and you can like kill
And
like
Effort
fucking
right now
20
just seems to
mutas
have
all at
more. Now,
once.
this doesn't, you know, they don't have to engage each other from here on out. There is a world where you just take a base and
Yeah.
wait it out. The spore will keep Sulky much safer, so there's really no way for Effort to come in here with any
And
kind of
Effort
skill move.
has like the
Yeah, as
potential
long as he keeps his muta
to
count, like, as high as he can,
make a
he will
mistake.
be
Like he
unplayable
has another
with the spore
game
for
that
a
he
very
can
long
work
time.
with. Sulky doesn't. Sulky needs to win this game.
I don't know how this one's going to go down, man. This is a crazy, crazy game because Effort is like a player who likes to finish his opponent. If he goes for a finish here, like, see how he's making nothing but mutas right now? I think he's preparing to have enough to break a spore plus mutas. I don't know if that's going to end up working out for him or not. By the way, Effort is sitting here at almost 600 APM.
Yeah, it's
He's at
insane.
almost twice the
That's
APM
true,
of Sulky.
actually. Just the keyboard is on fire over there. So Sulky's going to move out. Now remember, Effort doesn't have the spore. Okay, so Effort has to win this fight with control. We have, I believe, over 2 control groups of mutas here for Effort.
Oh, there's one
As you
Scourge.
can just see by the way they're moving.
Yeah, he's definitely got. I want to say he probably has like 13 mutas or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot
Okay.
of mutas. Sulky has
Okay,
like
he's going
12.
to try to snipe the Scourge. Not bad, and there's so many Scourge here for Effort, but it
That
seems
none
like
of those
the
Scourge
first
landed.
Connect
Yeah.
from Sulky.
11
Wow,
to
yeah,
9.
just a 2 muta lead. Thank God they finally showed us that. I love that they're putting that up in production.
Yeah.
What the
So
hell?
11-9. You know, Sulky.
How did like
is down
Scourge
2
have
mutas
just been
overall.
so fucked up?
Does he just continue to pump out mutas? Is he going to try a Scourge-based play again? I think both of them are starting to
That's
think
such
about
a waste.
having. I was almost going to call it third base because they have those gases. Also, hold on.
Right.
So 3,000 gas, you mine 300 gas a minute, so it's at the 10-minute mark. Okay, we should have one geyser dead for both of them right now. Returning just
Okay,
2
here we
gas.
go. Big attack coming in. The Scourge, are they a little bit too late? I think that
Oh,
Effort
man.
actually has the higher muta
Yeah.
count. Sulky's muta
I think
count is
Sulky
dropping,
loses.
And now they probably won't be able to get back home with moving shot.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
That's
that's
GG.
usually where you see
Sulky is
someone
knocked
tap
out of the tournament.
GG.
There goes his reign.
That was the moment. Taylor,
Effort-
when
Effort
Sulky
defeated
did
Sulky.
not
That
win
should have been the
his
finals.
ASL in a row. What it took was a legendary Zerg player to take him down, and a great build from Barracks as well.
Well, the tournament's gonna be fucking interesting now. It's gonna be Effort versus Soba.
That is
But the
upset.
problem is
Everyone's been
just-
talking about this
just-
for so many seasons now.
Sulky is-
Sulky's gonna win another, and
Yeah.
finally we can answer no.
No.
Too
I'm
weak
so
in the
sad.
matchup, and you know it's a haunting loss as well because he saw the creep, so it wasn't like it was just his ability alone.
Yeah, like he
Um,
should have won
you know,
game
Effort
one.
is a very tricky ZVZ player, so the fact that the Overlord did brush up with vision.
That's
over
so
that triple
fucking
creep,
insane.
and we
I
saw it
can't
clicked on
believe
and
that.
pulled away.
This is such a
I don't know, maybe
crazy
hockey did that
storyline.
setup, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things you probably got to be checking for everything. And he just wasn't quite doing that. So, you know,
Put in the effort, you get the
almost
rewards
unimaginable to have a 4-time world champion lose
in the round
in
of
a game
16.
where he actually did have vision of a hidden base and didn't register it in his mind or look for it with his eyes.
Yeah, and you know, it's just the very edge. You have to literally go over there and look. It's not even going to really show up on the mini map because it's right on the edge of Fog of War. So a tough situation. He ends up losing. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, the final match, Effort versus Rush.
I can't believe it, man. That's what a way to get kicked out. That sucks. That's the worst. But we knew it was gonna happen. And like, what's so weird to me is that
Welcome back, everybody.
need to sleep soon, Callie. You're still not asleep.
Streak
Well,
has been
you're
broken.
here,
There will
Callie.
be no
Solky was
fifth
defeated,
Solky victory.
2-0 by
I don't
Effort.
know if we're ever gonna have him do a 4-win streak again, Artosis.
I would
So
not
yeah, the
think
5-win
he's
streak will
not
never
gonna
happen.
Not a big surprise that a Zerg player is the one that finally takes him down. He's kind of been doing his
It's
best
crazy.
to avoid Zerg players. You just saw him move Soma in that group selection phase out of the group. But it wasn't meant to be for him this time. Now we're going to have Rush versus Effort. I give Rush a little advantage here, but Effort, like, seriously, you can't underestimate this guy. He's so good.
Yep.
He's just, he plays like I would call it a slightly older style than a lot of people in this matchup. He doesn't look very modern. Like, I don't see him go crazy Zerg much. I don't see Plague farming that often. Actually, I did see him Plague farm the other day. But I guess that's just what late game is if you get behind, is you just Plague farm at this point. But yeah, like, he's really good, man. And I think he definitely has some chances here against Rush.
Yeah, I think.
And I think if you
Yeah,
pick
the
Sulky,
Sulky
you're
is
actually
like
putting around a bit.
ZVP and ZVT was untouchable, but his ZVZ
Skip the
wasn't
trophy right now.
because it's such a volatile matchup.
I think you are probably right. In that
Effort's
his style
gonna,
is
man.
still a little bit
Effort
old.
was the one
He's
who
gotta
took
stay
down
true to his
Sulky.
original form,
That's
but
so
it's definitely
fucking
working.
crazy.
I do think
Both
this is gonna be a
Barrett
Rush
and
favored
what's
matchup,
crazy is
but-
the people that took out Sulky
Oh,
are
man,
the
let's
people
see.
that
I mean,
he
Effort had some
picked.
pretty crappy stuff to beat Sulky.
He
You know he's gonna have
picked
something
to
planned
have
here,
Barracks
but
in his group. He
let's see
picked
what it is. We're
Effort
gonna
to
go to
be
map
in his
one
group
here
because he
on
told
Metropolis.
Barracks to pick Effort. And then he swapped Rush into his group, swapping out Soma. So Sulky built this group for himself, and he got eliminated by it. And this is what I mean by these guys are not the best planners when it comes to, like, you know, they want to like
Okay, Terran in the top right, Zerg in the bottom.
they
left.
almost want to take on the hardest challenges. It's like
And we're gonna
I
have,
remember this quote from Trump talking about this one
map, but
golfer.
again, the mains
who's
are
like, when they
huge,
give you the
areas
putt,
behind the
you
naturals
take
are
it,
massive.
and some people are arrogant
don't
enough
know
to say, "No,
how
I'll
much
make
of
the
a role
putt.
this plays
I'll do it
in
myself," and then you
TVZ
miss.
for ZVT. I mean,
And it's like, well, you
feels
could have
like
got
there's
it for
always gonna be a
free, but you
situation where
didn't.
wanna watch out for
And
this,
I
but
feel like a
does
lot
Zerg
of
really
a lot
go
of
for
them do
mass
that to
drops
themselves. Because
against
that
Terran? I
should
feel
have
like I
been a
don't see it all
finals
anymore.
best of
No,
seven.
it's not
They
very
kinda went
common.
away.
And I think it would have been a
It's
lot
not
different if it was a best of seven versus a
that
best
means
of
some
three.
players will mix it in sometimes. At the pro level, it's mostly Shine that will mix it in, not really anyone
Yeah.
else. Occasionally there are one-off builds and everything. The one thing is, though, don't forget, like, Terran drops Zerg. Like, this is,
Can't
this is a
believe it.
matchup where there's a lot of
I'm
dropships
like,
that can do
am I
this.
dreaming?
So
Like,
having
what
these
is
really
this?
wide
Like,
main bases where you can
I
kind
don't
of
understand. How did Sulky
Sulky
get kicked out in the round of 16?
The natural. I think the
does this mean
onus is
Queen
really
has a
on Zerg
chance
for
to win? My
blocking these
favorite
drops.
player?
You know, everything is there. Like, there's very good choke points. It's hard to attack bases as Terran, but yeah, the dropship play is very important on this map.
And so that's going to be a major factor if the Zerg takes another main or something like that.
Wait, what did you
What
say?
about the areas behind
Sulky
the
got
naturals
kicked
that
out.
seem
The
quite
guy who
open?
won
It feels
4
like Terran filled that up
championships
with
in a
birds.
row, who looked
Well,
absolutely
actually, you put
untouchable,
mineral-
is
like,
now
you
out
put
of the
turrets
tournament.
Behind your mineral line,
There will be no
they can't
5-time
really be
champion.
repaired. So when you try to put turrets behind there for Mutalisk defense, a lot of times they'll actually just kill all those turrets and then get you.
4
It's the
minutes
fact
ago.
that
That's so funny.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, that would
I
be
used to
Sulky
think
getting
the same
kicked
as
out.
well, but it's like the turrets behind just get picked off. Because, like, the thing is, you
He
hit them with 2
lost.
swipes and they're basically gone. Whereas if you're doing that to ones in the mineral line, not only can your Marines kind of come up to help a little bit, but oftentimes
I'm
you
so
can repair the turret
sick.
some and give it extra
No,
shots, right?
Callie,
So,
what's wrong?
Mutalisk Craftsman is actually very good on this map. It's a little bit tricky where to put your depots. There's not like a ton of room for it, plus production. So, you know, in Mutalisk Craftsman, I find it to be incredibly annoying on this map. The natural is pretty easy to defend, but the main base is a little bit tougher.
Well, in this game, we have Rush going for a quick command center here on the low ground with the depot, Rax, Wallen getting set up. And the cross spawn, excuse me, the cross spawns position. It's going to be 2-hatch into layer, unless this build gets really weird. So everything is looking pretty predictable so far. How exciting is it that, you know, Effort of all people beat Sulky, and then also that Effort's just playing really well. By the way, for the pre-StarCraft 2 rankings back in the day, and this was one of the peak periods of StarCraft, it was right before StarCraft 2 came out. Effort was like maybe the 5th best player in the world.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It was him, Fantasy, and Zhang B were 5 through 8, and
Right.
people might order them differently, but I would agree with you that Effort was probably the 5th best player at the prime of StarCraft. And the thing is, he was up and coming. That's like an important thing to point out, is like the reason why we talk about Flash, Jaedong, Bisu, Stork is because they were top of the heap as everyone was forced to switch to StarCraft 2, and results became less valid. And like the next 3 coming up were those 3. Like, we don't know, would they have passed all the other 4? We don't know. We don't know. They kind of passed Stork, I would say, by the end, but I don't really know about the other ones.
Yeah, it's just crazy to see him playing so well and being so strong right now. I'm trying to think, when we go down the older players, what is really the cutoff for who we see at ASL? I guess we had Pusan one time.
Yeah, we had Busan
Zeus
and
as
Nada.
well.
We had Piano. Did Zeus make it into a season? I think he did. Didn't
Oh,
he?
I thought he did. Maybe I made this up.
Yeah, maybe, I'm not 100% sure. He was commentating KSL, which is where I remember seeing him more. But okay, so like I actually did go back and double check on this at some point. So the oldest player that's in like every season is Stork. Hyun is 2 months older than Stork, and he's in some seasons. But we have no one who peaked previous to 2007 that makes it in anymore. Busan and Nada are the only 2 that come to mind as people who peaked before 2007 who have made it in. Busan hasn't in a very long time. Obviously, Nada only did 1 season, but Nada is actively playing right now and actively trying to qualify. So we might see him like set a new record next year. He's old as hell too. He's like 1984 or something.
Yeah, that's my age, man. Oh,
Yeah.
that's old, man. Old.
1984, great year.
Really, the players that managed to stay, the Jaedongs, the Efforts, they're like maybe from the 2008-9 era.
Yeah, so Jaedong and
Right.
Bisu started having really great games in 2007, and then Flash started to rise up. And yeah, Stork was already good at that time. So it's like, that's kind of like where modern StarCraft really started, in my opinion, was 2007, where like you can go back and look at the games and appreciate them. Whereas if you go back to 2006, 2005, stuff like that, you watch the games, you're like, what are they doing? Like, this doesn't look very good.
Not only what are they doing, but the maps are weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it took some time for them to really get maps that were like in high volume, as far as different maps, to where people could actually play the game properly.
Yeah, you
have
did
the
really
strategies.
work
If
it
you
out,
go
because
back to
maps
WCG,
make the game
look at the finals of the
100%.
maps. Some of the maps is
They're
just
some of the
not
most
playable
important
race.
parts
Totally.
because
Like
they can
Jungle Story, it's like,
dictate
oh,
different
this is,
races.
you know,
Like for instance, this
and maps
season,
even
which is
worse
funny,
than that. I mean,
yeah.
it's
these
just crazy
maps
how
were
bad they
made
were.
in a way
Anyways,
to
thank
like
God.
diminish the strength of Zerg.
But,
And a Zerg wound up
So,
killing a
here
Zerg
comes
on
the-
them, which
the
means
first round
if it's a
of
mirror
Pro Rush.
matchup,
It's a
well,
+1
they're the
for
same
Rax
race, so
build
there's
here
no
from
one
Rush.
gets any
Effort
map
went third
advantage
hatch
unless
in
it's like
main and
an
top
imbalanced
left
map.
as well. But yeah, look at this. He has actually gone for Quick Burrow. I've seen him do this before. Normally, you only see
Me
Quick
too.
Burrow against Mech, but Effort does it against Bio and spreads his lings out, and it seems to do really well for him.
Yeah, it's a very Effort-esque move. By the way, something subtle I saw back there, and I don't think it was a mistake, I think it was intentional, is that Rush seemed to leave like 2 to 3 idle SCVs next to his turrets in case he had to insta-repair. Because SCVs tend to skip around.
And they like
on
circle
other,
each
trying to
other
get
and they'd
repair
be all
when they're
fucking
getting
weird,
minerals.
and then the turret blows up,
And
and you're like,
by the way, this was a little bit of a mind game from Effort. He actually has countered Rush's strategy reasonably well here. He made a minimum amount of mutas. I believe he made 6. That's the normal with this, but you go 6 into the lurker upgrade, and that's a good way to kind of counter this type of marine pressure. And of course, he morphed the back lurker first, so that'll have enough time to burrow right before the other 2 finish. So he's going to go ahead and burrow that, keeps the mutas there as well. Rush still has potential to break this. Ooh, he missed a lot of shots there. So
yeah, that was unfortunate.
It's a great system that Effort's running there to just ensure he doesn't get broken by having the first lurker morph back and the next 2 be up front to where the Marines can't position. Now, I imagine these are hold position lurkers. It feels like hold position lurkers is going to pair really nicely with
the burrowed lings,
in that you can monitor the Terran's movement and then be ready for that hold position lurker move when it's time.
Oh, that's actually a good point. I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, you're definitely right about that. That's quite smart.
Just being able to see them move out and being like, okay, okay, he's going to come now.
Yeah,
we can reposition and then set up for this.
Ooh,
like you can see he's doing right now.
Oh, does he actually get that burrow off before the? Yeah, he is going to. That's amazing movement. Good call there, Tasteless. That is amazing movement. No, now he has those units sandwiched, and if any units come to help them, he can just massacre them.
Yeah, so something's going to get killed one way or the other.
This has been very good, very brainy play from Effort. I love that he's like circumnavigating the strategy here. Which
dude, if you walk through all of that, his entire army is going to go like
this type of play from Rush. So he's kind of gone around it. He's like, yeah, here are my mutas that are scary. And Rush is like, well, I'm making a lot of +1 Marines for that. He's like, haha, I have lurkers. I wasn't really going to harass you. And, you know, it's like a tricky build. A lot of
oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, they weren't on hold position, but he didn't notice.
Yeah.
They weren't on hold position, but he didn't notice either way.
So he'll end up
but if they were on hold position, he would have done way more damage. Oh, is he baiting?
There's another
He's
set of
so
lurkers here.
baiting.
These are on hold position.
Dude, that's kind of funny.
That really didn't work.
Yeah, that actually was a little bit of a fail for a moment. Like,
yeah.
Wait, Greater Spire? Wait, what? Wait,
I mean,
what?
at this time, Rush is having a very hard time getting anywhere on the map. There's going to be more units to come down here. Again, you can see how different of a player Effort is from Sulky, right? I mean, it looks like a completely different matchup when he's playing.
I love.
So he's got these lings coming up here from behind.
What would be funny is if Effort gets kicked out after kicking out. Dude, if Effort gets kicked out after kicking out Sulky, that's gonna be the most fucked up timeline.
You just don't have enough anti-air. He's
that's how volatile fucking
Rush is gonna have to pull back.
ZVZ is.
I mean, he's not killed these lurkers.
That's crazy.
Those tank shots missing are so painful.
Yeah,
they really are.
And here's,
the Guardians.
Come down here. Oh my God! I feel like Rush has been zoned out of being able to do anything in this game. The Guardians, yeah, I was gonna say he needs to target the weaker tanks here. It looks like he's split up his damage pretty nicely. 4 Guardians is a great number, by the way.
Oh my God, Rush is getting fucking destroyed. And then he burrows.
Seriously underutilized. Oh my God, he burrows there. He's really taxing the amount of scans. It's insane to watch this. Like,
he's got defilers
on a master class. He's playing Zerg completely different from anyone else. Completely different.
Yeah, this is very off meta right now. And you know the Terran has to really kind of react accordingly.
He went fucking like a Guardian rush.
These burrowed lings can be killed. I've always thought. I remember when I started playing the game, and maybe getting sort of good. I remember thinking, man, it just does seem like burrow's always worth it. You know,
burrow's a good.
Like it's just
shit!
so
oh
nice.
Shit! Guardians,
yeah,
run!
Just to be able to see stuff when it's moving around.
Oh,
and
got
they
one
don't
of
know that you know, that's just so strong.
For sure.
And I didn't even realize the Guardians could be positioned over here in this area where you can't really get Marines underneath.
Yeah, he's playing the map with that, but he is losing his Guardians. Oh my God!
Are very unbuildable.
He needs to pull back.
Now he's going to try.
But he has a Dark
Swarm.
Swarm.
He wants to get one Dark Swarm cloud over the.
If you didn't know, underneath Dark Swarm.
Oh my God! Great flag there.
Wow.
No ranged units can do damage under it.
He gets a vessel there as well.
And then Plague brings all your units to 1 HP. So it wastes all the medics' energy while they try to
I'm gonna go for the hard
heal.
one, and then got it.
Had good energy.
This is
yeah,
fucking
great loot.
crazy.
And now we have like Plague out. We have so many techs. Consume is done. Plague is done. He's got a greater Spire out there, which probably realistically won't be utilized again, but that was a great addition as well. He's taking his 4th base already. That's scary for Terran. Like the 4th base, that 4th gas.
Yeah, that's when he can
where
get into
the game
ultras.
really becomes difficult for Terran. You get enough gas that you can really replace your Defiler Lurker forever. Or specifically for
Dark
23
Swarm goes-
minutes.
But he doesn't. He has fire bats.
Dark Swarm's going to go down here.
So the
As
fire
long
bats
as the
can
Lurker's
help.
burrowed under here and Irradiate's not on it, these Marines are going to have to back up. So they can't get in there. They can't do anything right now. We need to have a few more Irradiates on those Defilers to clear that out. The 3 o'clock base is safe. Rush is drinking up the resources from that now. And, you know, it's 4 base to 4 base. So Effort has basically gotten that natural expansion over that main base that he took earlier. Again, Effort bringing a kind of old
There's the
school
Ultra
style
Cavern.
to this, but looking very, very
4
strong.
gas. That's what it's all
But
about.
Rush on 3 bases is very functional. He just has to basically make sure that the Zerg doesn't get in striking distance of either the natural or the 3rd base with Dark Swarm.
And I don't think Effort's going to even really attempt that. I think he's going to just play a very defensive style here. He has an Ultraless Cavern. So the things he needs to do are like complete carapace upgrades and build up his Ultra count. And the one thing he has to watch out for is like, okay, our drop's going to come, and I have to make sure I'm replacing Defiler Lurker enough that the vessels don't kill him. That's kind of what you're looking to do here.
Oh no,
And
he
I've
didn't
seen,
move the Marines
efforts
into the
like him lately.
bunker.
And from a position like this, I expect him to win. I know the supply looks like pretty Rush favored.
But, yeah,
Rush
Zerg
without
doesn't need
116,
high
I
supply.
would still say I think Effort's going to be able to take it from here. He's actually pretty darn good in this late game situation.
Yeah, he's really one of the guys that perfected late game TVZ. Which, I mean, late game TVZ, when people really started to figure it out, it was such an insane matchup. You know, this almost untouchable bio ball, but then one cloud comes down and nothing can get near, you know, that cloud, and you're trying to irradiate the Defiler, but they're trying to scourge your vessel, and it's so crazy. So he gets up here, and again, with a Dark Swarm here, this base falls.
Dude, great play from Effort to sneak up that side. Rush isn't actually like leaving enough units around the map to scout things like this incoming. That's one of the main things you really need to do in Terran vs. Zerg is just sprinkle some Marines out throughout
Those
the map.
burrowed
to see
lings have
moves like
prevented
'Cause
that-
once they
that
appear at your
command
base,
center
you
for,
have to
like,
lift. They might not kill
10
your command
minutes.
center, but you're not mining
It's
for
crazy.
a long time.
His ultras are getting a little out of there, so he needs to go
He's going to
defend.
unload up here. I don't see much to protect the main. Scourge
Yeah, he has
spawning
no
are
units
not going
right
to make
now.
a difference. What's in the other eggs?
Overlords,
Ultralisk.
an Ultralisk,
What's in
Two.
the eggs? It's like-
What's in the
Ultras
eggs?
and Defilers. Oh, and he's gonna save the the
I haven't
Ultra.
seen 7 in a
No,
long time.
a long time.
I love the burrow underneath the command centers. I mean, it's just like it's so hard to reclaim your base now. Now you have to have a scan or a vessel over there just to see the lings burrowed underground.
And look at this. That little Zergling Defiler hit squad going to go elsewhere. I don't know if he's looking for a Plague or he's looking for a Dark Swarm. Yeah, throws a Dark Swarm down here. You could just hold position. Oh my god, he had enough for Plague as well. Just kind of chilling there, man, and gaining value.
Defilers
Slowing
are
down
broken.
Rush.
You can
Rush
consume a
is
unit
dead.
and get
He
infinite
is
energy.
dead. There is no coming back from here. You would put 10
No, I mean,
flashes
Effort's
playing his
done it, man.
position, and it's not going to make a difference. He's not going to break anything anymore. Effort's economy is really, really strong. He's got good upgrades. Yeah, this looks amazing for Effort.
Yeah, I mean, the Ling counterattack here is massive. Maybe not that massive. I think some of it's just sitting outside the base, but you get what I'm saying. Lings and the Ultras are going to come down here now, and I just don't think Rush has enough to make it that much of a difference right now.
Yeah, the Ultras need that
I mean,
plus
there's no extra
2
base
more,
here.
but still.
It always feels close, right, until the extra Lings hatch, and then they clean everything up. He's going to irradiate an Ultra. The main is almost mined out, so it was a natural.
And he still has that
Oh
one
my God,
Ling.
yeah, that's the funny thing. You send a couple Marines down there, but Lings are so strong when you get the Adrenal upgrade and they've got armor and attack.
Just takes
So,
out the
I mean,
Marines,
either
no
Rush
problem.
has to either win the game here, which looks pretty impossible, or he needs to get a third base up and keep it. Oh my God,
There's
so many ultras.
there's too much. If he could kill that hatchery, we could maybe talk about something, but like, it seems very tough. He's
Yeah,
taking
no.
relatively good fights. He has great upgrades on his Marines. He's had good spell casting with his vessels, but effort is continuing to reduce those as well. And while it's like, yeah, he's kind of killing the ultras, but yeah,
GG.
Rush knows that there's just going to be more behind that. So effort takes game number 1 in very
And remember,
convincing
guys,
fashion.
the higher
I think he
statistic is the
out-strategized
person
Rush
who
there. I
wins
think
the
he
first
outplayed
game
Rush in pretty much
statistically
every single way.
wins the
Like
series.
the burrow, the spread of the lurkers. I love what you were saying about burrow leading into good lurker play. And we saw him repositioning lurkers as he saw units moving over the links.
Mhm. That was
You know, he
really,
kinda
really well
baited
played.
The mutas in a way.
That
like,
connection
obviously
is
he spent
so
a lot
good.
of money to make a Spire and 6 mutas, but like he kind of faked it and like went into the quick lurker tech. Just everything about the way he played was very smart. Guardians to break the tank push, like.
He's like,
This
fuck,
is-
maybe it wasn't
this
just
is one of the
ZVZ,
best
maybe
searches I've
effort's
ever been,
really
and you can
good.
see it there.
He might win this whole season. I mean, look, he just beat
If he
four-time
wins,
world
I would
champion.
be
Rush has
so
been in
happy for
several ASL
effort.
finals. There's a world where Rush is a multi-title ASL champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And effort looks like he's about to beat him here now. Now, doesn't mean Rush is out, but Rush has to play, I think, a style that can respond to what effort's doing, because effort's kind of forcing the game onto Rush here. You know, like.
Yeah,
once
effort,
you realize
again,
rogue
effort
lurkers
has
are-
the
sorry,
chance,
ult-position lurkers are
he
being
has
used,
the
you
ability
need
to make
really
a
think twice
mistake
about
and
being on
throw the
map.
game and
You
still
know,
win. Rush doesn't.
Anyways, we're going to go to Radeon
Rush
here
has
for
to
game
win.
number 2 in this final best of 3 here. The winner of this going on to the round of 8 here in Season 20 of the ASL. Okay, effort in the top left, Rush in the bottom right.
If I could have Rush change one thing here, I would say don't be using the +1 builds. I felt for a while like those were falling off a little bit. But there's still overall pros' favorite bio builds is opening with that +1 and trying to put pressure on the map with that. But I feel like everyone's playing around it really well. Whether you're sulky and you just know how to crush the army, or you're going to play like effort, who is going to just rush a lurker and like kind of fake it out. It's like I don't know that it's worth it. You know, the extra Marine medic, yeah, you do get to put that extra pressure on the map, and that type of build is going to win you, like, for instance, a lot of games on the ladder. But when you're playing at this level, it's very rare for a Zerg to lose their third base or to get sunken busted, right? So I feel like teching up to those vessels a little bit quicker with like a 2 racks Marine medic into 3 barracks type play is oftentimes going to be a better strategy at the higher levels right now.
Whenever something gets too trendy and too popular, that's really where, yeah, all the ideas around that, kind of responding to that or playing to avoid the strengths of that style of play get really good. And that's why we do have this whole thing called the meta, right? And it doesn't just exist in StarCraft, it exists in other games. Is like people are kind of approaching the game.
There's
a certain
always
way, and a lot of
statistically,
times someone has a
mathematically
breakout
something
idea.
that is
Wait a
greater
minute, I can just do
than
this
something
then.
else,
And that'll
especially
punish all these other
situationally.
things, and then that'll force everybody
like
to
rock,
change.
paper, scissors.
So, it's one of the things that just keeps the game so fresh and so interesting. But I think you might be right, Artosis. I think this may be too common what Rush is doing, and effort knows how to basically set up a mid game that's a very, very punishing for Rush, who was trying to push.
Oh, we definitely saw that in the previous game. And, I think for a lot of Zergs that has been the weakness for a while. So to fix that up and be able to get in these hive positions that are really hard to break, a lot of times it's
Super
just
important to
matter
get to hive.
of
Like, you
out
need to
whether
stop.
you're going to,
The way to
utilize
beat
vessels and
Sulky
try to
outside
stacking
of
grenades earlier,
ZVZ
get
was
the
to stop him
dropships
from
out a
getting
little bit
hive.
earlier, that type of
Stop
thing.
him from getting.
So we'll see how he
defilers.
goes about it. Just doing like a light.
But his
wall in
defenses
here.
are always so good.
wants to make sure he doesn't need like a bunker or anything like that. So good play from Rush in that regard. Looks like a very normal opener from Effort as well. Probably just 2 hatch Mutalisk quite quickly, and probably a standard game to open.
We're in cross spawns again, which always creates a little bit of a mid-game burden on Terran because you don't know which side of the map the Zerg's going to expand on as the game goes on. You know, if you're both, let's say you're both at the bottom, well then, if the Zerg's on the left side, they're probably going to try to expand in the top on the left side, right? But yeah, and this also allows the Zerg to then have these opportunities to take unusual bases, like natural expansions. Or bases you're just less likely to be able to scan or look for, and that can keep the Terran guessing as well.
I've found that actually the trickiest base someone can take in these positions is the 3rd base as Zerg. It's just such a stupid location, like Terran never scouts.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because it's like, well, why would you expand there? That doesn't build you into anything. It just doesn't seem like it makes sense. I don't know where Effort's going to choose to expand, though. Probably a corner is my guess. I don't think he's one of these guys that takes another natural that often. Now, it is a +1 rush once again here from Rush. So he's going to go up to 4 barracks. You know, he's going to be producing a lot of Marines and medics. And we'll see how that goes down for him again. You know, the one thing that I can say is cross spawn +1 rushes are way better than Academy rushes. Because the Academy rush is too slow to get across the map before mutas. And the 3rd base Zerg is taking is closer to you than their natural, which gives added power to the +1.
Yeah. Well, these Lings are going to clean up this SCV. Can't last too much longer than that. So we've got the Academy, the eBay. You know, the powering is happening. Zerg on a 3rd hatchery. Inside of the main means, you know, you're not really... There's nowhere to really attack for the Terran, right? I mean, you know, we've seen some games where Zergs take a crazy fast 3rd base, but this is really like I'm going to build an army opening here. I'm going to look for some fights. And so we've got the 2 gases coming down. We have the Spire on the way here with Lings and Ling Speed here. And it looks like he might take your little stupid base, Artos.
Yeah, I told
the one
you.
that just doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
People might look at this and go, well, why is that stupid? How dare you say that about Effort? He's so smart. And it's like, no, he's smart, but this is because this is probably the last base he'll check for.
Yes.
This is not a ZVP, where that base makes total sense. This is a location that is actually quite hard to defend and could be pushed. And we might actually see that. He might lose this game because this just gets found and pushed. But the problem is with Lings with speed outside of his base, he can't get out. The only tool he has to see and understand what's going on the map is scan. He's only got 2 scanners. 1 scan just went down. He had to confirm its mutas. Now, look at the map from the top right corner to the bottom left. All the base. Now, he scanned a 2nd one. He saw the hatchery here. Now, a lot of times people make the 3rd hatchery there because you can hide tech. It just kind of makes the Terran spend more scans. Right underneath this position is, in fact, where the Zerg's going to expo to. So there's a world where Terran is trying everything they can to send Marines out to try to scout, and they're bleeding stuff off all over the place, trying to defend. And, you know, you always want to attack a base that's closer to you as a Terran than you know, the one that's in cross spawns, right? That's just too long of a travel distance. So Terran may have no idea where to target, what to attack.
Travel distance is huge for Terran because you have to have army
Terran
movement.
can't find a base.
Counterattacks are going to be huge from Zerg.
So we want to watch this 3rd base really closely.
Yeah,
because if Terran sees it, that'll change everything. Go ahead, Artos.
Oh,
Sorry.
he just scanned it. Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, dude, he knew it.
That's
He watched fucking the Soul Key game and he was like, I'm not letting that happen again.
That's some real instinct, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real.
So now he's going to go for it. Yeah, now normally
Oh,
we see
come on, turn it into a sunken.
Top right, man.
Dude, turn that into a sunken, bro. What are you doing?
Call there by Rush.
Oh,
Basically
man.
realizing if I scan this and find this in time and I take it out,
I think he
I
could
will,
have bought himself enough time. I don't
I
know.
could just win the game outright.
Yeah,
This is
okay, he's
really
buying
the
himself
pressure he's
enough
putting
time.
on.
It'll be done.
We're right on the brink of him being able to just bust it.
Yeah.
It's like 7 mutas.
Yeah.
The Sunken's going to finish. There's a few Lings. There's more units rallying out. Rush is going to reinforce, which I think is probably correct here. He's still teching relatively quickly to his starports. He actually got a really well-timed factory, considering it's a 4X play. He just stopped Marine production for a moment to get that up. And this is where the +1 build actually starts to really pay off, is this pressure, where it's like, okay, Effort has to make a lot of units. And he might need to make a bunch of static D too. Until he has lurkers out, like the Terran Bio Ball has good potential to kill your whole army.
And he's still a little bit away from that because he's going straight into Hive
Try to come in here from
after
the side. Rush
lurkers.
is very good at keeping his
or during lurkers.
army kind of in a ball, never like a string, never a line, where there's going to be some weak point to try to hit and poke at.
And then you
Immediately
want
turns and hits those mutas so hard with those Marines. But he's got to be careful. The further out he is on the map
you
here,
want to do the same thing with the Marines. Pull the
the
Marines
less-
out until they go into a line, and then shoot them off with the mutas so you
farther
take
away the
minimal amount of
reinforcements
damage.
are. And there is a world where, you know, we see Effort take a play from the Sulky book and just surround this and gobble it up. So he's going to come down and here hit this. Reinforcements are just behind this.
Yeah, he's
He's
doing
going to kite slightly.
He's doing okay here,
Okay,
really.
yeah.
He's got a lot of mutas.
Yeah,
the mutas are
I
being
think-
turned down relatively well. +1 just finished. at the end of this
I
battle.
think that's it.
but
I
he's
think
gonna kill the
I think
entire
Effort
army.
wins.
Look at that supply differential now. That's very, very rough. If you, like, Rush wishes he could take that back. Because even though he traded, like, semi-okay, map control now goes to Sulky. You're not supposed to lose map control at this point.
He said Sulky,
He doesn't
not
have his
Effort.
vessels out yet.
He meant to
Like,
say
for instance,
Effort.
If he had waited for his vessels.
Oh my God. There's no bunker.
Oh
The
my
bunker's
God.
empty. There's nothing. Yeah, this game might just end, Artosis. I actually just assumed there would have been a bunker here when he came down.
This,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He
GG.
did it.
This is
He
absolutely
actually
Effort comes out first.
Dude, we're in a new world.
The fuck is going on,
It
guys?
looks like he is not going to be making the next round. Great play here from
I
Effort.
can't believe.
GG.
Wow.
I can't believe it.
Wow.
Rush and Sulky don't go to the round of 8, but Effort and Barracks do.
Yep.
What a
Ushering in a new
Yeah,
era
this is a new
of
age.
StarCraft 1.
This is a new age, guys.
This
What the
season,
fuck?
Not of the usual suspects.
What is going on here?
You know, this guy should be a suspect when he chooses to play ASL. He doesn't play every season, but when he does, he looks like a god. He's the only player in the world with a winning best-of-5 record against Flash.
Yep.
The only player in the history of the game.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he is on a different level than most of these guys. And I mean, you see it here. The guy comes back, he practiced, he didn't play last season. He just smashed Rush. And those were like normal macro games, you know? He like outthought him, out-macroed him, out-microed him, out-strategized him, out-tactic-did him. And it just, you know, it's amazing to see. Like, he is a real contender for the season. Just like he was a few seasons ago when he played.
Yeah. I thought when he saw this, he was going to come in here and take it. I mean, he really got this sunk up in time.
Yeah, the masterful
it-
play by
even with
Effort was just
+1 range,
crazy.
baited out a decent amount of stims. I think the medics were still very rich in energy, though. You know, when the fight happened.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if there's something extremely subtle about how this fight goes. Oh, his +1 air attack was done.
I think it finished
Right at this
during the
moment.
battle, like halfway through. Or did
No,
he have
I
it
think
right
it
before?
just now finished. Like right now, it would have finished.
Okay.
So maybe that explains it. Okay, because I was wondering, like, sometimes I see fights and I'm like, man, sometimes it's like the Terran wins perfectly and Zerg should never attack, and then other times it's the complete opposite. But great control. So he basically saw reinforcements are far away enough. Did a great job at just targeting kind of the center points here. The Marines that the Lings weren't hitting, basically, so that the damage would snowball. And there was just nothing the medics could do. And I don't even think Effort thought the counterattack was going to win, but then he gets there and he goes, oh, you don't even have a bunker. Okay,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is just going to keep on going then.
It's true. If he had a bunker already up, Effort would have pulled back. There'd be no reason.
And that does it for Group A of the round of 16
That's
of ASL
crazy.
Season 20, as we have our second player with a ticket to the quarterfinals. It's Effort. Congratulations. Thank you. You are the second place finisher of Group A, moving on to the round of 8. How are you feeling?
And you just 2-0'd everyone. Didn't fucking
The round
drop a
of 24
game.
wasn't that easy, and I naturally knew the round of 16 wouldn't be easy either. I'm very happy advancing like so. Honestly, if I were to advance, I thought it would have to be in first, but I'm glad I managed, even if in second. The first thing I'd like to ask you is, you ended up meeting Sulky in the losers match. What do you think matters most in ZVZ?
Ooh, philosophical
Seeing how
questions.
it's a mirror matchup, I think feeling confident is most important. Now, Sulky seems to fear Zerg a little. I think I had a bit more momentum on my side. Effort made good use of his momentum, notwithstanding in the first set of that losers match, you built a hatchery a little further outside. It seems Sulky didn't realize it whatsoever. What was the intent behind it? Before the round of 16, I reached out to Calm. That was the right call. This is something he recommended. I'm glad I was able to make good use of it. Both players moving on to the round of 8 today have mentioned Calm. Now let's move on to the decider match. What was going through your head when you found yourself one map away from the quarterfinals? I had everything planned out until match 3. It's not a build I was originally aiming for, but I made a mistake with my gas in the natural, so I had to deviate from my build. Luckily that worked too. Right, another thing I was curious about in regards to the first set, Zergs usually try to survive playing safe, but you played very aggressively. What did you aim for in game 1? Are you talking about the ZVT? Yes. I did want to play a safe 3-base build. Once I got everything secured, my defilers came out really quickly, and I got the initiative, so I opted for this aggressive playstyle that I like. And with this aggressive playstyle, you closed out the decider match with a 2-0 victory. You already gave Calm a shout out, but I'm sure you had a lot of colleagues help you prepare, and there will be a lot of fans watching this. Please address them too. First of all, I am very thankful to my wife for helping me stay focused as I prepared, and for helping me practice. Calm, Hero, BTS, Light, Royal, and one more. Hyuk also helped me practice. Oh, as well as Mong. Thank you so much. And the Zerg class from our team, thank you for your support here. And above all, the management on our team, Newcastle, I'm always thankful. My fans showed me a lot of support today as well. I'm happy being able to repay them by advancing like this. Thank you. Can't wait to see you in the round of 8. Once more, congratulations on advancing. Thank you. And that does it for our interview with Effort.
What an amazing day. I mean, this has just been such a good group.
Yeah.
And it means the story is only going to get that much crazier here. Barracks advancing first, and then Effort getting out right after that. Sulky and Rush, in that order, are knocked out of the ASL. That's insane.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing to see. Both of those guys you really expect to get deeper. Obviously, Sulky with the 5th victory would have been something amazing to behold, but 4 is still the all-time record in a row. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of this round of 8 fills out. I think that Barracks probably is at his limit round of 8, but we'll see who he gets matched up against. Effort, the sky is the limit with this guy. Like, if he comes in well prepared and well practiced, which it seems like he is, who beats him? Like, who do you actually, who? He beats Flash. Who do you want to beat him?
I don't know.
You can't name anyone. It's
I don't know, man.
Maybe Light? Like, he's the only guy. Maybe Snow? Like, you know, it's really tough to find someone to take him down.
I'm super excited to see how Barracks is going to do. Guys, we're going to be bringing this to you tomorrow. This is Best True, now using the ID BTS.
Queen is tomorrow,
Queen
which
and
is later
Bisu.
today.
Was in
I don't know if
Artosis
it's out
Day with
yet, but it
2
should be out within the
Terrans,
next
2 Zergs.
hour or so.
Tomorrow is a tasteless day with 2 Protosses and 2 Zergs.
2 Protoss.
This is going to be a fun one.
Queen
Yeah, I look forward to this. What about
and
you, Arthur?
BTS.
That's a great
It's
group.
probably
That's
gonna
that's
be
hard
Queen and
group
Bisu who get
to
out.
guess who's gonna
But
win.
I don't
Best,
know
I think, is
BTS
gonna
that
be
much. It's
the best
true.
out of everyone, but Queen has been
But I don't know
really
the
good,
player
too.
very much.
Him and Best had an insane
Yeah.
series last season in the round of 8. So, yeah, I could see this going just about any which way. And don't forget,
Yeah.
True can pull up.
Bisu has been
especially
falling
that
off
best
just
of
like
one.
Queen. So there's
He's
a chance the
very
Best and
aggressive
True
player.
get
The thing is,
through.
he has a very specific style. He's like a 3-hatch Hydra into Mass Hydra Muta guy.
So, you know what? I'm going
So
to
I
change
think
my
that's
prediction to
probably why Best
Best
chose him. He's
and
like, "Oh, I
True.
smell that. That's easy."
Sorry,
Yeah,
Queen.
make Dark Archons,
Sorry,
I'm not afraid of
Bisu.
this. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
But
So I think True is a big underdog, but he can make some upsets. Don't underestimate him too much. He's definitely a lower level than these
that's
guys,
the
but he's a
upset,
strong player.
you know,
He's played
because this
lots of
season
tournaments.
seems to be a giant
He has
upset.
The right nerves, so I think he'll do better than expected, but I don't expect him to get out.
Guys, we want to apologize again for not having the proper game sound this time around. Apparently, at the studio, the PC that was recording this, that basically records what we would use, which is the no Korean caster audio, crashed. So that's why the audio was different. In case you're watching this and saying this felt different, or why was the sound so low? They have gotten rid of that computer. They have a new one. So Group B should not have the issue. So we apologize for that. Very, very rarely does this happen. It's something that is just part of live production. So luckily we still had the Korean feed, which had Korean casters on it casting. We had to drop that down so you didn't hear 2 different languages at once. So that's why this was in the condition that it was in.
Tasteless just made all that up. I'm actually just a great ventriloquist who also can commentate in Korean at the same time. With 3 different voices, in fact. Okay, so I guess that does it, guys. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching. And
All right, well, question is it out yet? 26 minutes ago. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a drink. And then, yeah, we can start Group B. Oh, yeah. It's a StarCraft day. It's all about StarCraft.